Now can you hear? Okay, now you can hear me. My mic was not enabled for some reason. Every once in a while, OBS will just disable my mic. Hang on. Okay, as I was saying, hello everyone, Carl Wolf here. Back with some more Raging Loop, where we have to do the second feast. And this time, someone has to be voted out. Load. Everyone had a drink. Let's begin the feast of the Yomi Purge. Ooh, not that. Sorry, not that. Let's get to it. Takumi-ni, did the snake's power work last night? I keep doing that. I keep pressing space instead of enter because I'm so used to pressing space for the other visual novel games. Oh. Yeah, it did. Well, tell us. Kyo is a human. Of course. I'm no wolf. That means Muro and I are no longer suspects, right? What do you mean Muro? Muro. Oh, you mean the big guy. I was thinking of someone else. Yeah. It does. Let's look at what we have to decide today. If we continue based on the late Kanzo Makishima's decisions... hold on. Why are you taking the lead? I don't mind it if the eldest, Yamawaki-san, wants to take over. I'm no good at that. In that case, it's only natural that myself and Muro, adults confirmed to be human, should be the ones to lead. I don't like the way you're smiling. It feels like you're going to abuse this. Takumi, he's annoying. You lead. Yeah. No. Kyo, keep going. He's still shocked from the elder's death. No need to force him. But I will do everything I can in his place. Muro, you console Madame Oribe. My boy, he... Kaori-san. Here's my proposal. Let's do whatever we can to choose and hang someone today. Of course. You don't really get along with anyone else. You don't really care about anyone else getting hanged. Just as long as it isn't you. Hold on. That's too reckless. But it's necessary. If we don't, the wolves will eventually kill the last human. Exactly. We'll have to harden our hearts if we want to survive the feast. Am I wrong, Yamawaki? You're right. The Yomibito must be hung. One soul per day now, to bind. What if we make a mistake? Even if we kept it secret, we'd have to live with the guilt of having killed someone. It's true that it would be unpleasant, but such deaths wouldn't be in vain. What the hell? If we kill the wrong person, their death would be pointless. That's obvious. Watch your words when talking to your superiors. Listen, for now, we only have 2 surefire ways to get rid of suspects. Well, yeah, now that you're not a suspect. Surely you understand. Yasunaga-kun. Yes, the snake's power. Or killing someone and lowering the total number, huh? I know that. But do you really think we can all agree on someone? We can't do that. Do you think the ones who get killed cares which side wins? And that's why we need to reach a consensus here. We need to agree that if the others survive, I don't mind dying. Well, that's because you're safe now, asshole. Huh? Is that seriously all we have? Yes, that's all we have. The laws of the mountain remain merciless. What the hell? I'm not just getting hanged for someone else's sake. Oh, that would make you a wolf, wouldn't it? Don't be a bitch. What? Why? You have no intention to put your life on the line for Yasumizu. That makes you Yasumizu's enemy. Is that what you're saying? Am I wrong? People of Yasumizu, this is a test of your unity. Sorry, I keep yawning a lot because it is late. Wanted to do it earlier. You sure seem to be enjoying yourself. I'm only giving advice as someone from Fujiyoshi and as one whose suspicions were lifted. Be silent. Kiyonosuke, you were quiet about this until the snake looked into you, right? Yep. Ah, that smile, you a bitch. What are you getting at? You already knew we had to be unified and accept death if it was necessary, didn't you? But you also knew that saying that would have made the snake's power way more popular, so you stayed quiet. See, I knew it. I knew that... See, I was wondering, which is worse? Having him still be a suspect and trying to do everything he can to point the fingers towards everyone else, or having him be cleared and then being on his high horse. I still don't know which is worse, but this does not feel good. That's just an assumption. She's right, though. The Kamifuji guy, who's no longer a suspect, is telling us to die and be okay with it. As if we can just accept that. Takumi, you say something too. But he's right. I agree with him as well. Suspect me, hang me, whatever your decision, I will accept it. I think she's putting on airs. As I said before, in this situation, Kamifuji and Yasumizu are irrelevant. Not to mention, I know it might be impudent of me, but I believe myself to be part of Yasumizu. Oh, look at that. A respectable attitude. Something a certain someone here doesn't have. True. However, I do think that expecting that of this girl would be a bit much. True. You're all scary. But we have no choice. There can be no exceptions. Because now you're not one of them. You are such. Then if you decide to hang her, I shall go with her. Can you hang two people? Is that, like, they said you can... Doesn't it say you can only do it once per day? Can she choose to end herself? Outside of all this? But that means they wouldn't be able to look into her death. But if she's choosing to die, it would be doubtful she's a wolf, I guess. Although she should be careful. Saying something like that could make you a suspect, as like you and the little girl are wolves together. Especially when you're the one who's taking care of her and looking after her who's an outsider and everything. I mean, I think they put that job on you, didn't they? I don't remember. What? You mustn't. We only need the blood of one per day. I just have to die of my own volition. The corruption comes only for the sinner. If I'm already dead, then it no longer matters. But you're being a pain, Kia. If you're gonna lead, do it right. Uematsu. Yes. Think about what you're saying. Sorry, but you're ahead of Kami Fujiyoshi, one of our oppressors. Takumi, don't be rude to Uematsu-sama. See? You people are the reason why Ba-chan got so scared. Don't act like you're one of us. My sincerest apologies. You know, he seems like a nice guy, but that's not really the right thing to say to her. You people are the reason? They are. It seems like she's not one of them. So still putting what their actions on her is dumb. Just because she was part of that family. I think you of all people should know you can't choose who you're born to. I mean, she's ultimately here after all. And what she just said. Okay, I see. And why are you in Yasumizu anyway? Honestly, I'm inclined to just start leveling accusations at this point. Takumi, are you saying all of this is Kami Fujiyoshi's doing? Who knows? Maybe not all of it. But their efforts to keep us here show that they know something is up, don't they? At the very least, I really can't believe some guys who think the feast is an old wives' tale, and that the wolves are really on the human side. They knew that the people of Yasumizu would die if the mist came. And they deprive us of not only our prosperity, but even our lives. Slander. I won't say that Kami Fujiyoshi is a group of saints, but they're a resourceful and dignified people. Not to mention sensible. It's the age where science reigns supreme. Of course they don't believe in some old superstition. Isn't that the reason why? What do you mean? They didn't tell you all the secrets Fujiyoshi had to offer. Hello, Spicy. Welcome in. Thanks for your day check-in. 60 times. Nice. That's because your only value to your family is your belief that the family heads are upstanding people, and that you don't shut up about it. Congrats on first, Spicy. Huh? Isn't that why they forced you to stay in the Nosato mansion when you returned, despite all the dangers here in Yasumizu? Now you're crossing the line. Are you saying my family abandoned me? Hey, that seems plausible. You're just like Yasun and I. The heads are cruel. Those who lose a struggle for power, those deemed incapable, or simply those who dislike the ones in charge can simply be sent here. Our situation is one thing, but Mom, she came here all the way from Tohoku and married into the Higuchi family, but got thrown out the moment Dad died. I didn't care about that. Mom, sorry. I didn't mean to. I was fine as long as I had Yoshisugu and you, Yasunaga. Anyway, there's no doubt that they twisted our fates. I agree with Takumi on that. Too bad you're stuck here too, huh? I'm not blaming Yasumizu's people. What's gotten into you? We're all gonna die anyway. Oji-chan was acting all tough, but even he died so easily. I can't take this. Why didn't you just leave me there? You weren't like this back then. What's wrong? I've just had enough. How sad. What's wrong? When wolves come, everyone becomes demons. Have you been through this before? How old are you? That they do. That's why we need to hang the Yomibito. What a mess. Whatever. At least we know that Kami Fujiyoshi's people won't come and save us. The road was blocked. That's one reason. Anyway, I do think we should trust Kyo now. My reason's the same as Chiemi's. Oh dear. How sad. Think what you want. Anyway, when we have to hang someone, Uematsu is the easiest target. Keep acting like that and you'll be dead in no time. You're the one who just started talking that way to her. Then what should I... Just be honest and tell us what you know. Keeping quiet is the worst, and letting others take care of it won't do either. Right, Kyo? Why not just take control of the feast, Muro? I just tried acting like the old man. And that ain't me. I'll leave the rest up to you. Oh hell no, what the hell are you playing? I am playing a horror visual novel. Where it plays out like the werewolf game. Where the kind of like Town of Salem and whatever the other game was. Where there are some werewolves amongst the villagers. And each night the werewolves kill and the villagers have to vote to figure out who the wolf is. They have to vote someone out hoping that that person's a wolf. To see if the killings stop. So it's a visual novel of that little game. So welcome in, Tyler. I don't have much left to say. Let's just hold a vote and hang whoever ends up being picked. I'm telling you, that's too reckless. Of course, you are free to argue your case, especially if you can prove you're more valuable alive. However, I don't want to hear any "I'm human" or "I don't want to die" non-argument. Everyone would say that. Hello, Devi. Welcome in. How are you today? Welcome in, welcome in. Voice acting? Yes. The chosen ones give up and gives his life, leaving the fate of Yasumizu to the rest of us. I'm doing good. It's a bit late, a little sleepy, but I'm doing good. Now we'll hang at the hanging pine. And that should do the job. How do we vote? We'll start with the elders. You can have brief interviews too. When the voter decides, I'll record it in my notepad. Huh? It's not anonymous. No way. We'll basically be telling people to die straight to their faces. That's what he wants. Now that he's been cleared, the character designs go wild for sure. I've had enough of Serizawa's nitpicking. I'm starting. You a bitch. So, what's your name? You don't even remember their names? That's the old guy. The old man who cried wolf. Oh, him. Oh, I don't know his name either. Does anyone know his name? Are you serious? That's why I was asking, how old is he? Because it sounds like he was part of the feast before. That's crazy. Man's older than dirt. He might be like 200, maybe. That depends on when the last feast was. Because he really is talking like he was at one before. And she's never been to one, so it was before she was ever born. He's been old when I was still young. Do you understand what I'm saying, sir? Bro was born before 200 BC. Which one of us do you think is a wolf? Is he even going to be able to vote? What? Did he point at her? Huh? Me? Why? Wolf. Scary. Scary. One vote for Chiemi Serizawa. Hold on. Are we seriously deciding who to kill like this? Yep. As long as he's not involved, yep. We have no choice. We have no choice. He's a participant too. We can't deny his right to vote, can we? I think you're enjoying this. Takumi, say something. He looks chopped, honestly. Yasunaga, what do you think? I'll wait and see. Same here. Okay, Chiemi, I'm gonna need you to do what the main character said. Tell the monkeys to say who the monkeys are. Can the poor guy even talk? I mean, he did. He did talk. But that's about as well as he can talk. Just a couple words at a time, like that, the way he just spoke. Otherwise, it's a lot of just like noises, grunting. Wait, are you really? So now it's me. I think I should vote for Chi-chan too. Wow. Since she's already got one vote and you gotta hang someone, you're just gonna roll with it? Why? Taiba-chan. I'm sorry. I just don't know. But it's strange how you're so mad about everything here. You know what's really strange? About how docile you are about it. She believes too strongly in this stuff. She's been raised well with it. So she just goes with it. Jamie's the normal one. If the others survive, I don't mind dying. Bro must have been a gamer back in his day, looking at that posture. True. Oh, I hear that. But I won't agree. Yasumizu's people are important to me. But so is my life. Not to mention, I know I'm not a wolf. So I'm not just gonna roll over and die. True. A sensible person would act like Chiemi. Sure. I'll follow the rules. If I keep this up, I'll just get killed. Not to mention, we don't have any better options. Here, Taiba-chan. I've calmed down. Can you change your vote? Asking her to do that, I don't know. The most you can ask her to do is take a longer decision on it. Let me guess, he's gonna say something about it? Should I? Is that a child? Yep, no one is exempt. Whether you're super old or you're a child, anyone could be a werewolf. No one can be trusted, anyone can be voted to die. Not to mention, especially, she's actually an outsider from outside the village, so she's especially not trusted. You know what? Fine. It was my own fault for acting weird. Are you done? Muro, it's your turn. Pretty sure he said he wanted to wait longer. Oh, wow. That's the child, by the way. I'm voting for Meiko. You... Do I even need to give a reason? I know she's a kid, but we basically know nothing about her. It's just way too weird. I don't know how true the legends are, but if something fishy comes from Saranaga, it's only fair to think she's fishy too. Well, you can always, as the snake, you can always write her name and see if she's human or not. He has that power. Takumi, if that was how it worked, what would be the point of this bothersome feast? True. Why? That's too risky to be a wolf who's an outsider. I don't think we should decide based on that either. Even if she didn't come from Saranaga, we still don't know who or what she is. Think about it this way. What if this little girl really was a wolf? Well, think about it this way. No one knows anything about her. It's kind of risky to come here as a wolf. And what you're doing right now is the reason why. Oh, thanks for your daily check-in. Who do you think the wolf is? I have no idea. I'm still unsure about what the whole wolf thing even is. I swear someone said earlier that the wolf replaced one of them. Like someone who was a normal human gets replaced by a wolf. But now others seem to be saying maybe it's like, maybe they're forced against their will or something, or like, I don't know, or they've just changed somehow. They're them, but now they're on the side of the wolves. I don't know. I say the chopped old man. I'm going to say not the old man, personally. Well, again, if it's they can become a werewolf and they're just going to go with it against their wishes or whatever the case is, then it could be him. But I'm kind of inclined not to say him. I'm inclined to not say the child either. I would have said Kyo, but I can't because Kyo's been cleared. And Muro, the big guy, Kyo is the one with the glasses and the green vest. Muro is all the way on the left, the big guy. I feel like the old man is crazy enough or something. He's just pretending. I mean, fair. Wait, now looking at them a little better, I think it's the only buff guy there. He's the snake. So there are 4 guardians. The snake, the spider, the monkey, which is actually 2, and the raven or crow. Hello, Sato. Welcome in. The snake has the power to write someone's name at night before bed, and in the morning it will be revealed whether that person they wrote is a human or a wolf. And the buff guy is the snake. So the snake, the buff guy is cleared. He cannot be a suspect. And he's already did that to Kyo, the green vest guy. He wrote Kyo's name in the last feast. Yesterday, I guess, last night. There are 2 monkeys whose power is that they know that the other person is the monkey. My buff guy is innocent? Yep. That's all the monkeys are, is that they know who the other monkey is. The spider has the ability to choose someone to protect, and that person cannot be killed at night. They can only protect one person. And the crow, or raven, or whatever bird it was, I think it's raven, maybe? They have the ability to, when they choose someone to die, after the next day, the raven is able to determine if the person they killed was human or a wolf. That's the raven's power. So, like, the raven and the snake are pretty important. How do you say my name? My name? Cairo. Is this like the wolf game? Yes, it is, Sato. This is the werewolf game. This is the, like, Town of Salem and whatever the other one was. But in a visual novel form. That's exactly what this is. Well, I love wolves, and here the wolves are the bad guys, unfortunately. Oh, but yeah, Tyler, I'm Cairo. Cairo Wolf. Like Cairo, Egypt, basically. Coming to stream always gives me new games to watch out for. True. Yeah, I play all kinds of games. If we all just ignored her because she's just a kid, she'd kill us all. Do you get that? True, so just write her name down. Just make her the next one you write. Looks like you're thinking too, Muro. Next, Madame Orabe. Haru. Makishima. Haru, isn't that the boy in the dress? Mom. Oh, no, sorry, it was the girl. I forgot who Haru was for a second. Because isn't the boy also Maki? But that's his first name, I think, and her last name is Maki. Makishima. Why me? Why not? Tell me, then, why did you try to run away today? Because she's a rebellious youth that doesn't want to be part of this. Plus, it was her father that died. Our grandfather, whatever. You were feeling guilty over killing your grandfather and Yoshitsugu, weren't you? No, that's not it. Yeah, the drama's brewing. Then why? See, unfortunately, her son died. Because I was scared. I didn't want to stay here. Lies. Kaori-san, stop. His death hurt all of us. Even me. And Haru. All of us are hurt. Well, either way, she still voted Haru. Oh, he's asking again. Oribe-san, what will you do with your vote? Haru Makishima it is. I'm next, and... Figures. Of course you would. I'm voting for the nameless old man. Huh? Huh? But why? Just wait until Papyrus joins? That last exchange made me realize that he's not rational. We don't need someone like that around. That's it? That he's not rational? But do you think he's the wolf? Do you think someone who's not rational could be the wolf? Because if all you have to go on that he's not rational, and so get rid of someone who's not rational, that doesn't feel helpful. Are you basically saying you don't really feel like he's the wolf, then shouldn't you keep him around? That's so unfair. He regularly said that the wolves were coming, even before all this happened. That's more than enough to find him suspicious. Still unfair? True, but if he's super old, he might be attuned to this kind of stuff. Especially if he experienced one before, he might be attuned. Watch him be a guardian. Watch him be like the Raven or something. The Raven or the Spider. I think he's either completely insane or secretly knows something. Have you ever considered that there were feasts before this one? He should have been around for at least one. That's what I'm wondering. But I haven't, and I'm over 70. Well, you said he was old when you were a kid, so... But he could have, no? He's older than you after all. He could know something, but might be unable to say it because of senility, or might be hiding out of malice. With this vote, I might be able to get info out of him, and if not, he's worthless. Worthless? Is it truly right to hang people, based on whether they have worth, at that particular moment? Well, now that he's cleared, yes, he does think that. You say that, but if we continue, we will make more progress tomorrow. You a bitch. He means the Raven will say that whether the person they hung was human or a wolf. If it was human, then they know there's still 2 suspects left. Because right now there's currently 2 werewolves for this time around. What do you mean? Today, Muro will use his power to investigate someone. We'll know the truth about another person. The spider will once again protect Muro. By repeating this, it'll only take 3 times to know who's a wolf and who's not, even if we guess wrong. I'm surprised you're not demanding the spider protect you. Actually, there's no way you're gonna get away with that. I guess you're being smart then. Really? In one day, we'll hang someone. Someone will get killed by the wolves, and the snake will reveal another person. So that'll be 3 people down. So take away 3 people, and you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people left as suspects for 2 werewolves. We could minimize that even more if we say who the monkeys are. University time. Good luck, Devi. Hello, Chara. Welcome in. How are you doing today, Chara? We'll find out about 3 people in one day. And since all the 11 besides Takumi and Nasato-san are unknown, it'll take 3 or 4 times. Exactly. We'll only have to hang 3 people at most. With that in mind, if you don't want to hang those close to you, you should start with those who aren't. It's for the good of Yasumizu. If you don't want to hang those close to you, isn't this what Muro warned about? Protecting those you care about and going against those you don't care as much about, that you even maybe don't like? That's what Muro had a problem with before. And you basically just said it, but in a different way. In a more positive, forgiving way, I guess. You know, in this game, the snake is a good thing and is a guardian, but man, is Kyo a snake. Now listen here. I'm arguing to maximize the happiness of the majority, Muro. Nosato, are you serious? What? Chinese math only works out if the wolves only kill the snake. Only kill people the snake hasn't checked, right? Sorry. Well, Cairo, what shit have you been doing to make Tyler here interested? Do you know Tyler? But I don't know, I just play a lot of varied games, I guess. I do play a lot of different types of games. I play visual novels, RPGs, adventure games, point-and-click adventure games, survival games, and I play horror games every Sunday. Pure horror games. This one is also horror, but it's a visual novel, so today is a visual novel day. Because I have specific game days, with Thursday and Saturdays being visual novels. Yes, she is my friend who's literally insane. No, I don't know about that, but welcome in, Chara. Chinese math only works out if the wolves only kill people the snake hasn't checked. What if they only went after those whose identities were already confirmed? For example, what if they went for you tonight? True. That's why I was surprised you weren't asking the spider to protect you. But I guess it makes sense you wouldn't. You can't. Oh, come on, Tyler, I'm not insane. What makes you think that? Yes, what does make you think that? I don't think I can agree with voting based on such a flawed conclusion. Don't you think you're being too easy on the idea of killing your own? I haven't said anything about killing my own. I've never said that. I never say that. Oh, there she goes again. Oh, man. Well, there were some mistakes there, but we're already voting. I'm leaving your decisions to you. The next up is Rikako, Uematsu-san, right? Going by seating order. I'm next. How troubling. I don't have enough info to go on. So what, I hated him? Yeah. And one moment on Twitch, I'm getting a cheap viewers comment. I gotta ban them. Because it's a scam comment. There we go. Why are you so calm? I'll make a mistake otherwise. That's why you and Mom should calm down. Please. Hold on, Yasu-kun. Sorry to cut you off, but I just had an idea. Oh, the monkeys? Say the monkeys. Scam comment? Yes, there are comments that will, like, there are bots that will go to everyone's channels and post in a, you want more viewers, go to this link. And they want you to click that link to try to get your information and stuff like that. Usually. Or even other stuff of that kind of nature. Or to get you to, like, buy something. Maybe to buy the viewers, the fake views. Which is just going to get you banned, obviously. Hmm? What? Can the monkeys reveal themselves? Why would they? Yasunaga-kun and Sir Makishima said it'd be best if they don't present themselves. I think they should. That would lessen it by 2 people. Because only the monkeys can say who they are. The only other people who could try to call out another person's name and have them do it back would be the wolves. And if they did that, they'd be outing themselves. Because then that would limit it to 4 suspects at that point. Well, I was thinking the same thing at first, but what's the point of the monkeys then? They just know who the other monkey is, right? It's not like they get any new info later. I would buy whatever they have to steal their information. To steal the scammers? That's true. The only use I can think of is for them is catching fake snakes. But they can confirm who the other monkey is. So they can be confirmed as non-wolves, just as easily as those investigated by the snake, right? Right. So if we think about it that way, if the wolves don't manage to kill someone we have cleared, so that would be 3 people plus the 2 monkeys. If the wolves don't kill the monkeys, or Kyo as well, actually, that would lessen it by a lot. What if they lie? How? You just have to say 2 people need to say the other person's name. The only people who could even try to do that are the monkeys. Why not scam the scammer? The thing is, these are just bots that'll lead you to... These can also be links that give you viruses, so... If only that you could do that, but I don't think you could. Lying would be too risky. For example, I'm not a monkey, but if I went, "Hello, I'm a monkey," what would you do? I'd say, "Tell me who the other one is." Exactly, but I couldn't say it, because I'd be lying. Now, for example, if I said, "Alright, it's Mochi," then... How did you know? Don't joke around. Well, I can't prove it, can I? I see. But what if he played along because he thought being a monkey would make him safe? That's why you make both of them say it at the same time. Alright, I gotta set more stuff on fire. Goodbye, the game is shit, by the way. Alright, see ya, Chara. The real monkeys would call him out, and then we'd hang all 4 one after another to be sure. True. That's... Don't set more things on fire. The rule of thumb is that only wolves would try to lie to survive. So that's the right thing to do, isn't it, Nosato-san? That's true. Once you clarify that that's what would happen, you shouldn't get anyone pretending to be a monkey. I see. It's too dangerous for both humans and wolves. It's just not worth it. Exactly. Does everyone understand? Looks like it. Then please, name yourselves. We'll lose 2 suspects. Wait, actually? So he was almost kind of being honest with the whole, how did you know? Because of all the people for her to pick. Makes sense, though. I could see him being the monkey. It'd be funny if the little girl was the monkey. Who's the other monkey gonna be? I don't think it's gonna be, I keep forgetting his name. I don't think it's gonna be him. I feel like, I don't know about her. She's totally lost her composure, but... if I had to guess who the other monkey was... I think it's you... I don't think I can guess one person. I feel like my guesses would be maybe Haru, the old lady, Tayaba. I feel like maybe those are my main two. And then maybe the mother? I kind of want to say the old guy, but I don't know. Right here. What is it, Mochi? He feels like it'd be the one who accused Haru, but... true. I'm saying that I'm a monkey. I just started watching, sis, so no worries. You're not just dragging out the joke. Yes, yep, I'm a monkey. So, like we agreed, who's the other monkey? Ah, little girl. I wanted to say her because that'd be kind of funny. Just because she's an outsider. So an outsider has come in to get a guardian. Dang, I should have said Mako. Mako-chan. Huh? Doesn't that mean he has to take back his vote then? Mako-chan, is that true? I don't... She's been... The Guardians would tell them if they've been chosen. But I don't think she really understands all this. She's just a little girl. What? When you woke up, was there something on your stomach? There was. A monkey. She knows the symbols? Yes. I taught them to her. Alongside prayer to Shinai. We have any other monkeys? Doesn't look like it. That confirms it. Okay, well, I'm glad the child is safe from being hung and stuff, but they're now in danger of the wolves. I see. So they really are monkeys. Crap. So I wasted my vote. Kyo, please go back to him and let him vote again. Exactly. I think he should be given a do-over. What do you mean? It's clearly a wasted vote, and you are so desperately want to hang someone. You want to bend the rules. It's best to make it impossible to retract votes. We'd have too many people trying to change their vote at the last minute. Sure, but I feel like this is reasonable. Like, come on. Good point. Fine. Nosato, you're giving me big no vibe? He is. Unfortunately, he's already been cleared. Muro, the Takumi Muro here, is the snake, and he used his power the first feast. This is the second feast. The first feast, after it was done, he revealed himself to be the snake and wrote Kyo's name, the green vest. So Kyo is unfortunately cleared. I was literally saying, when they were talking about doing that, I was literally saying, which is worse? Him being cleared and being able to stand on his high horse and do this shit? Or him still being a suspect and trying to throw blame towards everyone else as much as possible? Which would be worse? Hard to say, but this one definitely feels pretty bad. Like, he gets to abuse this. Whereas if he was still a suspect, he'd be an absolute little shit trying to throw the blame on everyone else. Sorry about interrupting. Back to Yasu-kun. I'll vote for the old wolf man. My reason is that I think staying silent and doing nothing indirectly helps the wolves. That's a fair point. Let me think. To counter that, I would say... I don't know what he was like when she said he was old when she was a kid. Has he been like this as long as she can remember? Is my question. Because maybe the feast that he went through, they lost a lot of people. Clearly they won, right? They got the wolves, but maybe they lost a lot of people. And maybe he really saw some drama and tragedy, and maybe, you know, has like I guess PTSD, sort of, has like kind of lost his mind over it, I guess. Very traumatic. That's what I was trying to go for, traumatic. Just very, very traumatic. So this is just how he is now. So I don't know that he's intentionally trying to stay silent. Wow. I'm next. A million votes on Taiba. What? 1 vote each. And then 1 vote for Taiba. I found it weird how she just voted for Cheney out of nowhere. I mean, she gave a reason. Even if it wasn't that great of a reason, she gave a reason at least. What? What are you saying, boy? That's why you youngins are such good-for-nothings. Why? For not just laying on their backs and taking it? Just because you were raised to just do as you were told with all this, these supernatural games. I'm next. Alright. What happens if it's a tie? You said you can't take back your votes. Do you have to vote again if it's a tie? Will Muro be allowed to vote again? 1 vote for the old guy. Well, goodbye, old guy. So even you went for him. Shut up. My reason is that I don't have any better ideas right now. And that's it. Haru-chan's turn. I'll vote for Uematsu-san. You had to have been the one who brought the corruption. No. I am only here to fulfill my role. Then just do that and take in the corruption. You're not doing that because you're a wolf, aren't you? Watch your tongue. I cannot disagree. I'm powerless. You don't have to humble yourself before these people. It's your turn. The person who voted for you must be suspicious. Listen to this guy. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like he's not a guardian. Or maybe he is. He could be the Raven. I mean, if he's a Raven, then it's his job to tell everyone if the person they hung was the right choice or not. So I can see him trying to take it seriously before they vote, I guess. I will vote for Yasunaga Oribe-san. You! I do not find him suspicious, but I just had a thought. There would be no worse possible occurrence than were he to be a wolf. I did say a lot. Can't blame you for thinking. I'm just tricking people. But I don't think I said anything wrong. At least, I didn't intend to. I don't mind if you vote for me. I believe that votes to express your outlook are important as well. The old man is at the top with 3 votes. You there, child. You're the last one. Mako. Do you understand? I need to choose the wolf. Yes. She said her? Now what do you mean by her? The mother, the old woman, or Haru? Surely she's not talking about Chieni. She's probably talking about... I'm having a hard time just getting it down to 2 people. Those 3 are my guesses. Out of the 5 women. Maybe she's talking about the mother? Aw, really? Damn. Why? Me? Wait, seriously? What? Why? I mean, I guess she is the only one that gets to actually come and go from this village, because she goes to university. That's far away from this place. So even though she grew up here, spending time outside this place has changed her a bit, apparently. But you're an outsider, so that wouldn't matter. I don't know. Hey, you're scary. I'm scared of you, too. We need a final vote. The 9 people besides Shiemi Serizawa and the old wolfman will vote for one of those 2. So they tied. So that's how we're doing this. The wolf is coming. The results are in. Old Wolfman, 7 votes. Shiemi Serizawa, 2 votes. Probably the same 2 that voted for her in the first place. Everyone besides Haiba and Meiko-chan voted for the wolf guy. Shut up. Are you ready, sir? I don't know how much he understands, but okay. We all decided this. Every one of us is equally guilty. Better get ready, old man. Do you understand? Oh. I need time. Huh? I need to clean up. You want to take care of your belongings. I believe we can allow that much. What if he's planning to escape? Haru-chan. And then I'll keep an eye on him. You do that. As soon as he returns, we will take him to Saranaga. Rikako-san, where is the rope? Right here. It was already evening. As I whiled away the time with some fruitless contemplation, I heard noises outside that brought me back to reality. People were shouting loudly. What's wrong? I opened the window and shouted. It was facing the cliff, so I couldn't shout to the settlement directly. They probably didn't hear me, since I didn't get a response. What happened? So I shouted even louder. Is that Muro? Fusaishi, say right where the fuck you are. Would he say that? Huh? Was I about to get punched? What happened? I could only repeat myself. It's dangerous right now. I think that was... Saranaga? Saranagu? Whatever. Saranaga? What do you mean? I didn't get a reply this time. I only heard several voices clamoring. Then, I heard someone hurry up the dorm stairs. Who's there? I got no response again. What did the old man do? What was happening here? Someone was definitely close. It just made me more tense. Oh, Haruaki-san. Wow, Chiemi yet again? What a twist. What's that supposed to mean? Sorry, but you should stay there right now. This might be really bad. Her voice was cut off by a scream, though it was more like intense cursing. What is happening? It was Takumi's voice, no doubt about it. And Chiemi left without saying another word. Huh? Hold on. Open up! I fought the door, but it showed no signs of opening. I can help, damn it! Shit. Like hell I was gonna stay out of the loop any longer. Turning around, I went to the open window and decided to try jumping out. Though I was on the second floor, it wasn't too high of a drop. It'd make my legs a little numb, but so what? I jumped out without any hesitation. I properly bent my knees so I didn't hurt myself at all. Then I ran to the settlement, where I heard the voices from. I quickly understood the cause of Takumi's shouting. Guess so he is the one that said fuck. They were cries of despair. The reason was somewhere downhill, along the way to the graveyard. It was a small grove of low trees with a carpet of leaf mold below. It would have been hard to see even if there was no mist. You could hear running water nearby. I couldn't see where it came from, but it was probably an irrigation channel for the paddy fields. There was a small crowd gathered. I peeked through the space between them. There were bodies. Bodies? 2 of them. One was of an old man, and the other that of a child? When you say child, you mean like just the broad range that we call child, or like child? It should be, I keep forgetting his name. It should be the one that said he was going to look after the old man, and not Mako, right? Though their appearances were vastly different, each was in a similar state. They lay on the ground with their hands over their stomachs, utterly still and covered in blood. These were the corpses of the old man who cried wolf. And Mochi, yeah. Chikamochi. Kamoshida. Why? What happened? Well, I guess that means the old man was definitely not a wolf, which I kind of thought so, honestly. Understandable, but at the same time, it also felt like too easy, you know? Fusaishi, weren't you in the dorm? I was, until now. Bullshit! You're the one who did this, aren't you? You need to chill out. I know I'm an outsider, but you need to chill. Huh? No, I'm not. I just came out of the dorm. I even talked to Chiemi-chan. Yeah, it's not Haruaki-san. Takumi. Then who did this? Forget that. We need to treat... And there's no point. Don't touch them. We might still make it. They've lost all their blood. Their stomachs are open, and their guts are all over. What kind of treatment can bring them back, huh? You know one? Go on then, say it. Medical science in proper hospitals? But that's irrelevant because we're stuck here. There's no getting out of this village. There was nothing I could say in response. There were 5 of us on the scene. Chiemi Serizawa, Takumi Muro, me, as well as Yasunaga Oribe, who was vomiting on a nearby bush, and Rikako Uematsu, who was watching the remains from a distance. Most were proactive, and I could see why they were here, but Rikako Uematsu felt a bit out of place. But then I remembered that we were already pretty short-handed. What happened? Who did this, damn it? Look here. She pointed to the old guy's clothes. They did say that this was going to be a really late feast, unfortunately. They took too long with this feast. So they put themselves at danger with the wolves. They're all supposed to be locked up in their rooms, asleep. There were gatherings of fur all over his garment. A werewolf. If that was the culprit, then this was the work of the corruption. Was that what she was saying? No. This was completely different from how the others had died. The fur proved little. Let me see the wound. I told you not to touch it. But this is completely different. Quit acting like you know shit. You never find out anything. But if we stop trying to look, we won't understand anything at all. Quit the act, outsider. Takumi-ni-chan, calm down. Shut up. Everything went to hell when he got here. If he didn't come, none of this... Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't the only one who got here, by the way. It's like it happened right when I got here. There were three other people that came here. Mako, the little girl, and then the reporter and the cameraman. Just because they're dead already doesn't mean you can't blame them. If you're just going to randomly blame me, who's clearly cleared. It felt like he was about to grab me. I could clearly see the intense emotion swirling in his eyes. I thought I could get him to trust me, but now I was back to square one. Mochi. Why? Why? Yasunaga Oribe calmed down a bit and faced the remains of his dear friend. His voice was shaking. The expression on the corpse was eerily pale and emotionless. Even a look of agony was absent. It almost looked like he was smiling. Did his face muscles simply go limp? This isn't the corruption. How do you know? I'll prove it, if you let me pass. Come on, big guy. He glared at me with immense hatred before letting me through. Look away if you can't stomach this kind of thing. I walked up to the old guy's corpse. He looked as distant as always, but the lack of blood flowing in his face simply made his appearance even more creepy. I avoided looking at it while I grabbed his back and rolled him onto it. With a wet sound, entrails spilled from the wound at his stomach. How horrid. Don't force yourselves, people. Except you, Takumi. Look. The stomach was clearly torn open by a blade. This isn't some supernatural punishment. It was caused by a person wielding a weapon. And since there's no weapon nearby, it means that someone intentionally removed it from the scene. So Yasumizu has someone who's both armed and capable of an act like this. Please give me the details of what happened during the feast. What led to this? Are they actually going to tell you? With several people here to tell me, I ended up with a decent grasp of how today's feast went. Oh, they did tell us. Kiyonosuke had suggested they chose who to kill by vote. The wolf guy and Chiemi ended up with the same amount of votes, resulting in a tiebreaker vote. Most ended up voting for the wolf guy, sentencing him to death. He said he wanted to take care of some things, so he and Chikamochi Kamoshida went out, while the rest stayed where they are. Let me drink some water. Were they really the ones who left? Yeah, the feast was still going on at that point, and them leaving was an exception. You expected them to come back and resume the feast. What would you have done then? That isn't something we can tell an outsider. I mean, I can pretty much guess. Alright. But anyway, they didn't come back. How long did you wait for them? No more than an hour. And we started to worry, and went out to search. Found them in less than 10 minutes. So an hour 10 at least. Minimum. So the culprit was one of those not present. Chiemi, Takumi, Yasunaga, and Rikako. The 5 in the hall, Nosato, Kaori, Meiko, Haruchan, and Tae-san, simply couldn't be responsible. So, someone killed the two, changed into some clean clothing, and came back to pretend to keep searching? Wouldn't we have noticed? Does everyone just have copies of the same outfit? We would have noticed. That's impossible. Did you see each other while searching? No. We split up to cover more ground. Let's return to the hall. We then went to the hall. Hyonosuke kept watch and confirmed that no one besides the victims and the search party had left the building. That limited the potential murderers to the search party and I. I asserted that I was still in the room when it all happened, and they believed me for now. Though Takumi continued to suspect that I used some sort of trick to escape and commit the murders. Well, that was fair, considering everyone else was with them, but I knew I wasn't the culprit. Yeah, a lot of people who would know that kind of thing. Not a good alibi, unfortunately. That left only one possibility. They died right after they left the hall. Then someone removed the weapon. And you're still the only one who could have done it. I'm telling you, I heard him in his room. I'll say it as much as I have to. I'm innocent. And since I am, something else had to be responsible for their deaths. I wouldn't put it like that. At the very least, I'd be like, just please keep other possibilities open. I see you're avoiding using the word murder. You noticed? I am. As it stands, this could be suicide, death by illness, or poison, followed by desecration of the corpses and removal of the weapon. How would doing something like that benefit us? If you ask me, things become much simpler if we assume you and Serizawa are partners in crime. Don't you think? Ooh, that's a good point. Serizawa was the other potential person to be hung. And if she's gonna act as our alibi, and ooh, this is not good. She's also the one who told everyone to not include us in the feast. Because she talked about how, because we didn't follow the rules that everyone's supposed to do before the night starts and the werewolves hunt, and yet we survived, means that we're not part of all this. She convinced everyone of that, and then we don't get to be part of the feast. We get to just be locked up in our room or somewhere. That makes the two of us look bad now. I don't know. But doing that wouldn't benefit me either. Really? Tell me, is there any proof you didn't know each other before this? True, we could have... I'm an outsider, but like I said, she does get to actually leave the village for her university. So we could have met outside the village. Huh? We didn't, obviously. What does that have to do with anything? The people here believe in eerie legend. You could have come here to take advantage of that and pretend to be monsters, to murder them for your enjoyment. I would agree, except for the part of it being us, I would agree with him about someone taking advantage of the legends. The problem is, our main character has the ability to die and go back in time, because it is a game and he's our main character, so flowchart, we could do the whole flowchart thing. So part of this game is to make mistakes, to go down death endings, and then go back and avoid them. to get to the end of this game. But ignoring that it's a game mechanic, he has that ability. So through him, we've already seen that the werewolves are real. So it's not just someone trying to be a murderer under the legend, unfortunately. There could be a murderer, though, because this seems strange with the old man. Please stop. There are some lines you shouldn't cross. Stop this, all of you. Tai Yamawaki walked out of the hall. I could see Haru Makishima, Meiko, and Kaori Oribe behind her. That made a total of 10 survivors. 9 of the excluded me, who hadn't participated in the feast. Whoever killed Chikamochi and the Elder, they went against the laws. True. Shinai-sama will subject them to the corruption. She put her hands together in prayer and faced the peak of Mount Shinai at the opposite side of Saranaga. Strangely enough, that was enough for everyone to fall silent. Rikako Uematsu joined in and Meiko copied her. This was this settlement's way of solving things. They gave up on discourse and just left it all in the hands of a higher power. Ba-chan, what do we do now? One has already spilled blood for the day, and the elder has died. Let's end the feast for the day and clean up. What if it wasn't the werewolves, though, and they still get to kill someone? Alright. Yasunaga, help out. I can... You just sit still. The situation was only getting worse. Soon after that, it was time to shelter. So everyone retreated to their houses. Oh, you still feel the need to shelter, huh? And Takame had entered my room and boarded my window completely shut. If you're not the culprit, something's gonna happen even if you're locked in. His words were harsh, but there was a hint of composure. He might have actually believed that I wasn't the one who did it. Or maybe he found peace in the idea that the mountain would punish the culprit. Or perhaps he just believed it was the work of something supernatural. Whatever the case, he was dwelling less and less on the matter. Was the wolf guy a wolf? I had no idea whether that was plausible. Assuming he wasn't, the two of the remaining 9 were wolves. With Kiyonosuke being a confirmed human, Takumi being the snake, and Meiko being a monkey, there were a whole 6 suspects. Right, we lost a monkey. Thanks to my advice, Chiemi suggested the monkeys reveal themselves, and they turned out to be Chikamochi, Kamoshida, and Meiko. Though Mochi had just died, that was a heavy blow. Him being a confirmed non-wolf was one reason, but more than that, he was one of the few people here who actually talked to me without restraint. Yeah, he was nice to us, and I think he actually trusted us for the most part. So it is really sad that he's dead. He was somewhat of an oddity compared to the rest of the people here, but I did find him to be a fun guy. I'd like to get back at whatever injustice had stolen his life. Clearing my head, I resumed thinking. Since she was acting suspicious today, Takumi-san would investigate Haru-chan. Tomorrow, we'd only have 5 suspects. That'd give them decent chances of picking out the 2 wolves. It seemed to me like it wouldn't be that hard to find the murderers, who would surely be shaken by what they had done. You know, if the wolves were able to somehow be the guilty ones, I guess it would work in their favor, because if they successfully hung the old man and saw that he wasn't a wolf, then they know there are still 2 wolves in play. Obviously, with the monkey gone, they knew he was a monkey, so they still know 2 wolves are in play, but they never confirm, they can't confirm if the old man is a wolf or not. So for all they know, somehow he was a wolf and he managed to die. So they're not entirely sure if there's 2 wolves or 1, though I think you would assume there's 2. And then, The outed wolf, not wanting to die alone, would reveal their partner. That was the most optimistic way to look at it. From a pessimistic standpoint, though, the situation was absolutely terrible. 4 people had died today. In a normal feast of the Yami Purge, it had to be one per day, 1 per night. This was double that. If things hadn't gone so well in the forest, even Haruaki Shima might have died. Not to mention the dreadful state Kaori Oribe was in. I was told their relationship had gotten worse. Kaori was in no state to prepare food, so it was likely that no one had eaten anything today. The hunger would only worsen everyone's morale. It was best for them to prioritize getting a proper meal tomorrow. Even so, there was no guarantee we wouldn't get any more irregular deaths. For example, someone at their wits' end could attack a wolf suspect despite the threat of the corruption. If they ended up losing more humans while the number of wolves stayed the same, the humans would be done for. Would be done for either tomorrow or the day after. Escape. I'd been entertaining the idea ever since lunch. The path was ruined and I had to travel through an underdeveloped grove, but I hadn't run into anything supernatural there while searching for Haru-chan. Maybe I could get out as long as I watched where I was going. I also had Saranaga as another option. Everyone here hated it, but that just made it less likely for me to be caught. Going down a misty, rocky cliff was dangerous, but at least it was a one-way road. I just had to be careful I didn't get taken by the currents. It was definitely better than just staying here and dying. However, perhaps even suggesting that was dangerous. According to Rikako Uematsu, the effects of the corruption were limited to the one who broke the laws, so you could escape them by killing yourself. However, if someone said they wanted to escape the village, the punishment would likely go to both the one attempting it, as well as the ones who allowed it. The escape would surely become a hell of an experience then. However, there was an optimistic view of this situation. Something was actually here. Something abnormal was here in Yasumizu, killing and menacing its people using abnormal methods. At the very least, Yoshisugu Oribe, who went to face it, suffered a horrible death. The superstitions weren't baseless, and it was best to look at the situation from that angle. My plan of escape contradicted that. But then, how could I prepare for whatever was to come? The best I could think of was trying to familiarize myself with Fujiyoshi's superstitions. Perhaps I could find some sort of weak point or hint that could lead me to their identity. Oh god. 5. Prepare for the feast when I can't sing. Prepare for the feast when evening mists arrive. The action rhyme they did was obviously referring to the Feast of the Yomi Purge. I couldn't remember all the lyrics, but I felt like there was quite a lot of info there. Perhaps there were more hints for the feast in Yasumizu's culture and general area. I felt I had to talk to Rikako Uematsu. She was an adult who seemed more involved in Fujiyoshi's prayers and stuff than most. I needed to arm myself with more info by tomorrow morning. That, along with the proper progression of the feast, were my only ways to survive. About today's feast. They must have decided to hang the wolf guy because they just didn't care about him all that much. Simple as that. Pretty much. Sure, it was important to get rid of the participants who weren't cooperative. However, the fact that we'd lost 6 people, but they still hadn't gone beyond he or she is kinda shady, was pretty bad. Yesterday, they wouldn't have hung anyone for such a petty reason. Well, the problem was that they hadn't hung anyone at all so far. But then again, it wouldn't be a good thing to give the impression it was okay to kill people just for seeming shady. This place was regressing back to a feudal, superstitious mental state. If there was something that could stop them from sinking there, it would be an outsider like me. I steeled my resolve and waited for the night to pass. Don't do that. Good evening. I was so startled by the voice on the other side of the door that I momentarily screamed. What time was it? 7? It was too early for an attack and too late to walk around. What if it is Jamie? I mean, I guess it could be. It's unclear whether the werewolves know that they're actually werewolves or not. I'm led to believe they do know, but hard to say. Everyone else thinks that they do, I guess. What's wrong with you? Aren't you gonna get punished if you don't sleep? I think another hour is fine. I was awake until 8 yesterday and nothing happened. I've been sleeping too much, honestly. I'm not tired, but am really, really hungry. Don't you have your food stocks? Kaori-san being, well, you know. I decided not to touch it. Might share it with the others. I mean, even if it is her, I think I'm still safe for a good while. Because, again, if he dies, he gets to go back and try new paths. If she killed me now, then I would instantly know this early that she's a wolf, even though there's another wolf that I would need to find out about, but still. I feel like it's too early to find out. We're all hungry today, so I'll just tough it out. Unless she already killed someone, and thus she can't kill us because she has to follow the rule. Only one way to find out, true. How upstanding. You should eat, though. There's also the fact that she's the reason we're even still alive in the first place. Technically. That and our ability, but I mean, like, technically, she gave us a place to hole up and told us to stay there and never come out. We could have just been an easy target. She could have just said nothing and we knew nothing. An easy kill. But since we know nothing, I guess it'd be good to have us around. Hello, Mika. Welcome in. I don't know. I guess there's many reasons that I guess kind of both point to and against her being a wolf. It kind of works either way, I guess. Because she's also, again, she's the reason we don't even get to be involved in the feast. Which could be her not being a wolf and saving us, or it could be her being a wolf using that to her advantage. I guess no matter what, it works either way. How's the game so far? Game's good. Still trying to figure out who the wolf is. 2 more people have died, unfortunately. The crazy old man died, and then the Mochi died. The boy who sometimes dresses up like a girl. Well, the boy who dresses up in a dress. Anyway. And can't sleep. Is that really it? Haruaki-san, do you suspect me? The possibility is there, I guess. Looks different today? I mean, true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, after Steins Gate, I wonder if that should be my next visual novel. I don't know yet. No. Why? Because you told them about the monkeys, knowing full well what it meant. True. But at the same time, her doing that... Well, but then again, it got one of the monkeys killed. I don't know if that saves her. But this is about your opinion, I guess. But maybe that's what she wants. She wants to be cleared as much as possible. Until the very end. The Feast of the Yomi Purge is a well-constructed communication game. Well-constructed? I mean that there's no way to win this game beyond communication. Chikamochi-kun thought the same thing. To win, both the humans and wolves need to have some tricks and individual strategies. Consider the monkeys. They seem useless at first, but you can use them to easily eliminate 2 suspects. Which we did. And this is possible from day one, so they can become reliable leaders, though that'd be hard for Mochi and Mako. True. Yeah, he was a free spirit, and she's a child. Yeah, of all the people to select from the monkey guardians, like really? The wolves, on the other hand, have to go on the defensive. In a situation when being suspicious is enough to get yourself hanged, it's important not to draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done, though. Yeah, and keeping your silence can be just as suspicious as being a blabbermouth. Exactly. But there are two factors that make it easy to gauge trustworthiness right from the very start. Do they have something to do with monkeys? Yeah. You have to watch out for those who give bad advice, or don't provide useful suggestions. A good example of the former is Kiyonosuke. His poor planning threw everything into disarray, and that makes him really suspicious. True. Although I'm suspicious of him just being stupid, and plus he's already been cleared, so he's just stupid. But he's confirmed to be human. Right. Well, that's assuming Takume wasn't lying about being the snake. I feel like going out of your way to confirm that this guy is cleared, lying about being the snake, and going out of your way to say someone's cleared when you don't actually know if they're cleared or not. And especially about someone that you know is going to cause trouble. That would make you a wolf. And the real snake not speaking up, like what the heck. So I kind of trust Takumi. But I mean, he has a mild point. Huh? You're saying he could be lying. It's not impossible. After all, anyone can say that they have a guardian. Honestly, if I were a wolf, I'd lay low until I killed a few, and then claim to have a guardian to ensure my safety. The monkeys apparently have tattoos on them, right? Can anyone see the tattoo? Because if the wolf manages to kill a guardian and sees a tattoo, they can take their place. And because they already know no one else would call them out on it. Unless it was the monkey. They wouldn't know who the other monkey was. Well, no, that'd be too risky. They would get the other monkey to reveal themselves, but that'd be too risky. Because then you two are on the chopping block. I see. But Takumi came out on the first day. Yeah. That was basically suicidal. But since that allows the spider to protect him, it's like a telling blow that hurt the attacker. I think. Anyway, all things considered, I'd say it's safe to trust Takumi-san and Kiyonosuke. What if the old man was the spider? Aren't we screwed now? Personally, I think you're trustworthy too, since you spoke up about the monkeys. That's what I'm saying. What if I only did it because I saw your game? Oh, that'd be bad. Wait, hold on. Aren't you basically saying you suspected me until I spoke up about the monkeys? Oh, you noticed. You just admitted it. This goddamn guy. What the hell, man? It's fair. I did it because I wanted to believe you. Alright, I forgive you then. Woohoo. So, who's the most suspicious one? God, I wish I could say Kyo, but the most suspicious one? Well, that's hard to say. Because these kills were unnatural, right? They're outside the rules, aren't they? Well, I guess we'll find out if someone died. If someone died, then the old man steps was unnatural. So how do I decide who's suspicious when I gotta choose a murderer and a werewolf? Yeah, someone's like being third imposter. As far as werewolves go, Takumi is safe. Kyo is safe. Mako is safe. I want to say Chiemi is safe, but not entirely. 3 people are out. I still have Saranaga. No, that's not his name. I still have the I keep forgetting names. I still have the young guy. The old woman, Taiba. The mother. So I have the Orbes, the 2 Orbes. I have the priestess and Chiemi. And Haru. I have 6 people. The most suspicious would be... I guess I could say Haru and the young Oribe, since Haru's supposed to like him. And he said he was over his crush over Chiemi. If those 2 are together as werewolves, that's possible. I don't think it's the mother, the 2 Oribes, because I don't know... Well, if they became werewolves and a family member didn't, I guess they could kill him, but would they? I guess they could kill him and then be super distraught about it and not be as suspected. The old woman seems too docile with all this. Just kind of goes with the flow. No, I really have no guesses. Pretty much anything is possible.
Haru-chan.
Really. I feel like trying to escape the feast and we had to go find her and bring her back, we had to save her, is a little too suspicious. There's no way she tried to plan all that, hoping someone would come and get her. Haru-chan. Thought so. She's not making much sense lately. And you can explain her shift in personality by assuming it's because she killed her granddad. Or maybe she couldn't agree with the other wolf on their decision to kill Kanzo and stop trusting anyone. Oh, that'd make sense. I suppose. So they were willing to give up and throw their life away? Maybe. You can make up 1,000 reasons like this, though. We couldn't go by just that. Right, I've been making up reasons as well. They'd said Haru hadn't gathered many votes, but they treated her like some kind of pariah, making it clear that everyone suspected her. It was only natural to use the snake to check on her. Though, she doesn't seem all that good at games and stuff. It probably wasn't fair to judge her purely on not making any useful contributions. In that regard, Yasu-kun is way more suspicious. Yasu, yeah. Huh? But he did say a lot. Like pointing out my math was incorrect. See, that's reasonable. But again, what better position than to have everyone trust you because you're the super smart one who's been taking charge and helping everyone and walking everyone through all the different possibilities and making sure that we choose correctly. Making sure that they don't choose you. You being himself. And he did say something like what you just said. Not doing anything indirectly helps the wolves, or something like that. Not to mention that on the first day, he suggested that the spider should hide. That could be a tactic. That's true. Though most of those things were minor, he was definitely contributing to the game. The first day was especially important. For the wolves, it was best to create a flow where they could just stay quiet and wait for those with guardians to out themselves. What bothered me was the fact that he wasn't the one who brought up leader selection and the monkey thing. He was shady because he hadn't made those useful propositions. True. He seems so smart and has been coming up with all kinds of different things. But even when she brought it up, he didn't say anything. and was even like, huh? I thought he'd figure those things out a while ago. Or maybe I, as an outsider, just had a better grasp of the situation. Maybe. Maybe he's too close to all this as an insider? Or I guess there are just some things you're not gonna constantly step back and see the whole picture. Not every time. I guess he's innocent then. I don't know about the rest, though. I can't even imagine what Rikako Uematsu-san and Tae-san are thinking. I know what you mean. But if you looked at the circumstances outside the feast, Rikako Uematsu was pretty shady. How so? It always felt like she was hinting at something. It wouldn't have surprised me if she knew more than she let on. If she was a village head, she could know things only those from Kami Fujiyoshi knew. There was more than enough reason to suspect her. I suppose. If only we could follow that lead and solve this whole thing. It'd make things way easier. Haruaki-san, are you enjoying this? No. But you look like the type who likes mystery stories. Even if he was, it's still different to actually be part of one, and to have your life on the line as part of one. I mean, real people are dying, and kids are at risk, and a kid did die. I won't deny that, but I can't really enjoy myself when people I care about and I are in danger. Yep. If I did act like some master detective, I'd really just be some useless amateur. It wouldn't accomplish anything. I'm not sure I buy that. What do you mean? Everyone else is a mess. I think most normal people would lose it in this kind of situation. True, he did handle the corpses well so far. I could say the same about you. I'm not exactly normal either. Oh, yeah. I heard that you almost killed someone. Who told you that? That's a secret. Though it didn't sound intentional. Well, how do I say it? I think it happened in middle school. I grabbed a bat and beat up some students who were bullying the Yasumizu kids. Whoa. Some of them were connected to the head families, so it became a big deal. And that's basically why the adults here are so harsh on me. I mean, I'm assuming I guess you beat them like almost half to death, but that's a bit too much. But standing up for them and doing something to the bullies is a little bit base. She just took it too far. I see. So you fight out of a sense of justice. Even for justice, that's again too far. So she was sent to Yasumizu for making enemies out of the village heads. I wouldn't say that. It's more like I just have a short temper and wanted to make a scene. Sounds about right. A rebellious phase. More or less. The same as Haru-chan and Yoshi-kun. In a place as rural as this, it's rare for children to grow up as level-headed as Yasu-kun, don't you think? Really? I think they'd be healthier and nicer than the edgy brats from the city. I think anything is possible anywhere, no matter what. Let me rephrase that. In a place as poor as this. Well, there was no doubt that Yasumizu was destitute. There were no cars, cell phones, and it didn't even feel like it had an economy. They probably lived mostly off the land, making money from whatever they could spare from their farms and hunts. Since they had no decent way to sell stuff to anyone outside, most of their business had to be done through Kami Fujiyoshi. It was entirely likely they were ripping them off. No way this place could be wealthy in these circumstances. I didn't believe that money could buy everything, but poverty took its toll on the people suffering it. True. Some could live in poverty while retaining their purity, but that was borderline saintly. It was a lifestyle too difficult for the common masses. True. Also, Since the people of Yasumizu were ostracized from Kami Fujiyoshi, they were targets of unjust pressure from day one. I can understand why the children here strayed from the path. Though, when you looked at it like that, the way they stayed was so mild it was almost cute. Let me drink some water.
今度こそ引いた
Are you disturbed now?
いや、別に。
Not really.
嘘だ。いざ
You're
となったら
lying.
ドンキ持ち出す
You
よう
now
な
think I'm so blunt I'd whip out a blunt object to beat you
本気
up.
だけに
Didn't she actually threaten us before in a way? Actually, no, she was just, well... I'm just going to ignore that poor attempt at a pun. Sorry.
前の彼女もそんなだ
My
ったし
ex wasn't any different.
お
Oh,
えっと
oh,
そうなんだ
I see.
なぜか動揺されてしまった。
Right, for those who haven't seen the beginning, he ended up in the, he broke up with his ex. It was a bad falling out, I guess. I kind of forget. And he just went on a motorcycle ride far, far away, and he ended up out here and got lost. And someone gave him directions, which accidentally led him to this village, or at least close to it when Chiemi found him. You seem confused, and I have no idea why.
彼女さんと別れた
You weren't lying when you said you broke up with your girlfriend.
嘘だと思われてた
You
の
thought I was?
正直
I thought it was just some kind of pickup line.
ひで
That's just
それ
me.
はもう身
Our
の危
breakup
険を
was
感じる
insane.
レベルの大喧嘩を
I
見
actually
て
felt like my life was in
覚悟し
danger.
ましたよ。
それは
So you broke up with her and she didn't take it well? Well, sorry to hear that.
君の方は
What about you? Huh?
男性遍歴。僕は言ったんだ
Your
から
history with
君
guys.
も言うべきじゃな
I
い
shared mine, so hearing yours is only fair, right?
あー
まあ yeah.
その
Well,
実際に付き合ったのは
how many
何
did
人
you go
な
out
んですか
with?
二人
2, I guess. That's way lower than the number she gave us before. Technically, she just said she had a lot of phone numbers. And just left implications, teasing us, basically.
CNA はモテモテで53人切りの超絶ビッチだって
She
話
never
はどこ
really
へ
said
行っ
that
た
directly. What happened to you being a hyper slut who's done it with 53 guys?
そこまで言ってない多少も
I never said that. I did exaggerate a bit, but I did get tons of invitations.
なのに二人ぽっちなんだ
And yet you only went out with
付き合っ
two.
た人
うん
Hmm.
まあ
Well,
あんまり
I didn't find many guys I got along with.
僕は
What about me?
これ以上やめとこうよ期待したら
Let's not go any further. If I let myself get too attached, I'd be too scared of dying. Okay, I was gonna
死
say,
ぬのが怖いのは当然じゃない
being afraid of death is normal though, isn't it?
別に
Not really.
どうして
Why?
死ぬより
God is way scarier than death. It depends on the god, but you know what? I kind of agree.
君の言う神様は一般にイメージする
I feel like you have a
それ
very
と違うの
unusual image of God.
どこが
Really?
それは何やら恐
You
ろし
think
い
of
も
it
の
as
で
something frightening that you
実
might
際
actually
に会え
meet,
るものなんだ
right?
ろう
みんな神様に
Everyone has met God.
見えていない
Maybe they just can't see it.
それに
And God really
神
is
様は
scary.
怖いよ
It's just that no one knows
みんな
how.
怖さを知らないだけ
Yeah, this makes me think of the like some of those horror games where they use angels and the weird designs that they supposedly are in some of the texts when they're not like human like, but when they're like these weird divine amalgamations,
僕も
myself
見えてない。
included.
知らないだけ
あなただけはわからない
You're the only one I don't understand.
だから
And that's probably why.
あなたを失うのは
I'm afraid of
怖い
losing
か
you.
もしれない
そんな言葉永遠の愛を
That's
使った
something you
相
say
手
to
にでも
those
言え
you
ばいい
promise your eternal love to.
怒った
Are you mad?
ちょっとね
A bit.
そっか
I see.
この段になっても
We've gotten
思わ
this
せ
far
ぶり
and
の
you're
だ
still
けで
being cagey
何の
regarding
手
your
の
own
内も
background.
開示しないのは
You can only take
気
playing
遊びを
hard
過
to
ぎる
get
んじゃ
so
ない
far
の
until it gets annoying.
私もどうすればいいのかわからない。
I'm just not sure what to
迷ってる
do.
んだよ。
This isn't easy for me either.
全部話してみればいい。
Just tell me everything.
もう帰るね。
I'm going back.
ちえみ。
おやすみ。
Good night. What the hell? Why didn't she talk? Did she still not trust me? Was she messing with me? Was she just kind of crazy? Was she anxious? Is she just wondering how far to take it? Because she's already said a lot. Now she has to wonder if that is something to regret or not. Or was it something else? Crap. I wanted to chase her down and get a real answer out of her, but I was locked in. This was so frustrating. Though, this wasn't the time to worry about that. Who would the wolves go for tonight? The wolf guy was dead, meaning there was one less person who'd vote Chiemi out tomorrow. It wasn't likely she'd get top vote. It was best to think that the wolves would go for someone who was useful to the humans and couldn't be killed with the votes. That meant that she and Yasunaga were the ones at highest risk. On the other hand, their survival would make things difficult in other ways. I'd probably be forced to consider the possibility that they themselves were wolves. Could I really trust Chiemi? I felt I could, but not completely. Whatever the case, a situation where the more talkative ones were seen as suspicious would make it harder for her to survive. Should I have talked to her about running away? No. That was probably pointless. I didn't know much about her whole God thing, but it was clear that escape wasn't even an option for her. Something scary that everyone had met, yet not fully perceivable. Was she speaking figuratively? Or could she literally see something?
くそ。
Shit.
知るか。
I don't care. I became irritated. My hunger was starting to get to me. Figuring it was better than just wasting my mental energy, I focused on taking a bath and going to bed. I had no idea just how naive my predictions would prove to be. It's the next day. Who died? I mean, if he's talking like that, I guess people did die. So what does that mean then? We have an extra murderer who's able to kill people and not get punished for it? I woke up at 5 in the morning. The window was still boarded up, so I couldn't see anything outside. All I could do was sit around and wait. Eventually, I could hear the objects keeping me in get removed, and I was greeted by... I mean, I would say Chiemi, but is it going to be Takumi? Oh. Yasunaga, I gotta remember that. Yasunaga. I keep confusing him with Saranaga. Yasunaga. Or Yasu. Chiemi. Those two actually survived. True. Honestly, these two would make good wolves, wouldn't they? I met up with Haru Makishima, too. Okay, well, you're alive. Her face was pale, and she had bags under her eyes. No one here looked healthy anymore, but she was beyond even that point. I'm thinking the old woman or the mother. Wait. They should go for Kyo, though, like I said before. If the spider is protecting the snake, then Kyo should be the next one, unless Kyo is the spider. That might be kind of smart. Actually, wouldn't Kyo just lie and say he's protecting himself? Use the snake to your advantage to clear yourself without having to out yourself as the spider. And then say that you'll protect him, hoping that the wolves won't go after him, so you can keep using him as a tool while you're protecting yourself. Because I hate spiders, and that sounds like something a spider would do, in my opinion. An evil, twisted spider. She'd gone completely meek, too. The defiance from yesterday was gone, and she was just letting Yasunaga guide her. She lost another friend, after all. We arrived at the dining hall, but found no one there. The door was unlocked. That was a bad sign. It was Kanzo Makishima's place all over again.
母は上の階で寝ているはずです。
Someone have keys? Mom should be sleeping upstairs. Sleeping? Like actually sleeping? With that knowledge, I opened the door. What if she was attacked? This is the place where the door wasn't locked, right? Does that mean... Even if she wasn't, considering her state yesterday, it wasn't unlikely she did something unthinkable, such as suicide. However, I soon found out my worries were for nothing. She's alive? She's sleeping? Actually sleeping? Kaori-san was standing all alone in the dark dining hall, wearing an apron. Okay, good. The fact that she wasn't doing anything but standing was just eerie.
あら、おはよ
Oh my. Good morning. She turned around and greeted us. Her voice was the only thing calm about her. Her eyes were bloodshot and signs of malnourishment were all across her face. Her faint, forced smile made her seem on the verge of collapse. She completely failed at acting normal. Her heart was probably swirling with panic and sorrow as great as yesterday. Everyone here could see it.
母さん、
Mom,
今日はみんなに
everyone's
食事を
hungry.
出すけど、
I'll
僕
make
がやる
food,
から
so you just
母
rest.
さんは休んでて。
え、
Huh?
いいのに。
But I can do it myself.
あ、私もやります。
Oh, I'll
これで
help.
も自炊はそれ
I
なり
actually
に
cook
し
for
てましたか
myself,
ら
so I know what to do. After they volunteered to support Kaori-san, I thought about what purpose I could serve here.
行こ
Let's go. And called to Haru-chan before going outside. She came with me, but wasn't saying a word. During yesterday's feast, she had a fight with Kaori-san. The woman had voted for Haru due to the change in her attitude and failed escape attempt. I couldn't blame her for that. Considering her personality, I imagine that the exchange had been extremely intense. Okay, the only ones left are Takumi and... Shouldn't we have heard from Takumi by now? That's concerning. And the old lady, Taeba. That was why getting her out of the dining hall was a good move. Problem was, we didn't really have anything to talk about. Takumi's supposed to be the snake protected by the spider. If he gets killed, I feel like I'm justified in thinking Kyo is the spider. It also means that the spider can't be trusted. Or, it could mean that the old man was the spider. So I'm thinking maybe I should think Taiba was killed. Problem was we didn't have anything to talk about. This was made worse by the hostility she'd shown me until just recently. According to Mochi, that was a product of her affection towards Yasunaga and all the drama surrounding him. Yes, the little love triangle. Normally, I'd playfully give her a hard time about that kind of thing, but it seemed in poor taste considering the situation. Oh, there's a glare. She was staring daggers at me. Maybe I just had to ask her? Good luck.
牧島春さん、
Haru, Makushima.
何ですか
Did I say Maku? Makishima. What?
担当直入に
I'll
聞
be
くなら
frank.
君は
Are you a wolf?
違うわよ
No! She didn't hesitate at all. Not like that meant anything.
何よ
You don't believe me? Then Takumi will check. That'll show you.
それではっきりするでしょ
If he's alive.
気づいて言ってるのか
Are you saying that despite knowing?
は何も
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, is he trying to mess with her? He might be. Might be trying to play mind games with her. What would be the point, though, if he is still alive? and clears her. Huh? Knowing what?
彼が生きていれば
If he were alive, he'd be the one looking after Kaori in the dining hall. True, that's what I was trying to get at earlier. When I said if he was alive, we would have seen him, heard him by now. Because he likes Kaori. Yesterday, he went there first thing in the morning. With Kaori-san in her current state, that was all the more reason for him to be there. But now he's missing. See, I think... I was gonna say, I think she's innocent. Because killing him puts her at odds because he could have cleared her. Unless she's guilty, then she would need to kill him. But I guess you're screwed no matter what. If she's guilty, you have to kill him. Even if it makes you look suspicious. You just have to take that. If she's innocent... Well, unfortunate for her. That plays into the wolf's plan. No way. That's just... We'll go check to be sure. Lead the way. Okay. Taiba, are you awake? Haru knocked on the door and tried to open it, but it was locked, meaning it wasn't touched. Taiya-san came out sooner than later. She looked pretty displeased to begin with, but upon seeing me, she displayed outright disgust. You too, old lady! That means that Takumi is dead. Right? Unless the wolves fail. They haven't really established if the wolves even can fail. It sounds like the wolves, no matter what, are capable of getting one kill. No matter what. Which, in that case, why is everyone even locking themselves in? Might as well just go to sleep and whatever happens, happens. See, the rituals they do and the whole barricading themselves in makes it seem like it's possible for the wolves to fail, yet when they do the feast and everything, they talk like the wolves can't fail. So going by that logic, Takumi is dead then. Which means I was either right about Kyo being the spider and just playing this whole game, or the old man was the spider, which is very unfortunate. He could have came out and said it, that he was the spider. I don't know that there'd be much reason for anyone to call him out. I guess if no one was calling him out, after a little while, a wolf could suddenly try to call him out on it and say they were the spider. But again, if they did that, then the old man and whoever tries to call him out would just be put in the chopping block. Tae-san came out sooner than later. She looked... Oh, right, I read that. What are you doing here? Sorry, Kaori-san isn't well, and we needed more people. Where's Takume? We're going to check on him. I see. Yeah, he's the last person we're checking. I think you understand already. Yep. Her gloomy expression told me she realized what might have happened. She said she had to prepare, so we excused ourselves. Please ask if you need anything. That sounded like she's not asking you. Yeah, sure. Basically. Oh yes, of course. She shut the door on us. Calm down there, little girl. I don't like what you're trying to imply there. You're nice to all women, aren't you? What the hell was she saying? Being considerate of elders and women is the gentlemanly thing to do. I mean, that's... Despite how the outside world is, that is what they try to teach all guys. That's what they try to. And it works on most. To a point. Is that how you feel about Chiene? I like her quite a lot. Wow, okay. Please don't. I feel so bad for Nichan. Ni-chan. Yasunaga-kun, surely.
かわいそうとは
What do you mean by that?
よし君もモッチーも死んじゃって
Yoshi-kun and Mochi are
香
gone.
織さんと知恵姉
Kari-san and Chieni are all he has left. And you.
知恵姉は私らの中で一
Also,
番強くて
she's the strongest among us.
神藤吉のやつらや
And she's always protected us from the people of Kami Fujiyoshi and adults.
私らから
Don't take her away
知恵姉を
from
取ら
us.
ないでよ
So that's how it was. So it was more than just the love triangle. I wasn't sure how she actually felt about Chiemi, but there was definitely more trust and reliance than I expected. Yasunaga-kun spoke like he'd given up on Chiemi, but deep down, he was actually glad she had returned. Haru-chan was aware of that, and she actually liked Chiemi. That was why she concluded that they should be together. However, it was clear she didn't feel like giving them her blessing.
君の気持ちは分
I
かった
understand how you feel. Oh, I pressed space. The end result depended on Chiemi, and since she hated Yasumizu, I felt like it wouldn't be something Haru-chan wanted. Then again, I really didn't know what was going on in Chiemi's head either. I had no idea who'd survive, so making predictions was a waste of time.
とにかく今は宴を終わらせるとい
For
う
now,
一点に
everyone
集
should
中すべ
focus
き
on
だ
ending the feast.
僕には大したことができないかもしれない
I
が
don't think I can do much,
身内に話しづらいことで
but
も
if
あれ
there's
ば
something you don't want to tell
相
your
談には
own,
乗るよ
I'm willing to listen.
何それ
Huh? What do you mean?
いや何ってこ
Nothing
とはないけ
much.
ど
It just feels like you have a lot to worry
君は悩みが
about.
多そうだしあと外に
And
逃げ
personally,
るって選
I
択
still think that escaping outside is a good idea.
ありだと思ってるから
それは無理よ
That's not possible.
君は可能性
Didn't
に
you
か
try
け
it
て逃
yourself?
げたんじゃないのかい
でも逃げられなかっ
But
た
I
じゃない
failed, didn't I?
だから
That made me realize we can't escape.
逃げるなんてできないのよ
それはたまたま怪我をした
Isn't
か
that
ら
because
じ
you
ゃ
just happened to hurt your foot?
たまたまなんかじゃない
It didn't just happen.
君も神様を
Do you
信じ
believe
て
in God too?
何を聞いた
I struck a nerve. What did you just say?
そんなものいないそう考えなきゃ
God doesn't exist.
やってられな
If I
い
doubted that, I just couldn't cope with anything. God doesn't exist. If I doubted that he doesn't exist, I just couldn't cope with anything. What, based on the idea that it's the sort of all-powerful, all-knowing God, yet he allows these things to happen? Or the idea that some people say that everything is part of his plan, his design. So the idea that he plans for all this to happen, these tragedies and accidents. Is that what you mean by you couldn't cope? And that he needs to not exist? There was a weird aura around her for a sec, but then she walked away, leaving me no choice but to follow her. If she was a wolf, don't the... Well, actually... Oh, that could be another reason. If she is the wolf, who's bound by all these rules and bound by God, for some reason, even though they seem to be fighting against God, yet they're still bound by the rules, that could be what she means by being unable to cope. The wolves are supposedly supposed to be against God, despite still having to follow the rules. Why does she always bay? She's like a little sheep. Or she... Yeah. We arrived at the houses. The mysterious girl was on the verge of crying.
おはよ
Good
うどう
morning.
したの
What's wrong? Not bay, but bleep. She... bleeps? Bleats. Bleats. She bleats. Whatever it is.
はっきり
Whatever
喋
it's
りな
called.
さいよ喋れるでしょ
Speak normally. You know how to, right?
大人げないな
Come on.
はい
Be
お
more
はよ
mature.
うございます
Repeat after me. Good morning. Okay, apparently there's a... She said she's a monkey, but I think there's a new guardian. The sheep guardian. This was hopeless. Haru-chan glared at her, while I stayed patient.
リカ子さんは
Where's Rikako?
お姉ちゃん
Yes?
うん。
Yeah.
どこ
Where is she?
出てこない
She hasn't come out.
ここよ
Her house... Oh, wait, I forgot about her. She could be dead. Right. I forgot about her, honestly. Her house is right here. It really was. I'd been here yesterday. I knocked and called out to her. There was no response. Haru-chan and I looked at each other, and I tried opening the door. Huh? It was locked.
リカ子さん
Still no response. I hesitantly put my ear against the door. I heard some sort of rustling sound.
多分着替え中か何かだろう
She's probably getting dressed.
じゃあやっぱり
Then he really did.
まだわからない
We don't know for sure.
まだ清之助
It
しか
could
も
still
しれ
be.
ない
Oh, right. I also forgot about him. I hope it was him. It could still be Kyo no Suke.
私がどうしたと
Ah, shoot. What about me? Well, I did expect him to live. Yeah, so did I.
リカ子さんは大丈夫かね
Is Rikako-san well?
あなたはそればっかりです
She's all you care about, isn't she?
一応大丈夫
And
そうです
yes,
よ
she does seem
まだ
alright.
出てきてないですが
She's not out yet,
ど
though.
うかしたんですか
I wonder what's up.
嫌な予感がして
I had a bad feeling about something. Good to see it was nothing.
しかし
Does this mean that no one,
死んだのは
that the one to
山脇
die was Lady Yamawaki? No. For you to say that. See, if he is a spider and he's playing this game right now, you a bitch. Actually, no. Again, if I'm thinking he's the spider, he wants the wolves to think that the snake is being protected, so that he can actually protect himself, now that he's been cleared. So he can protect himself while pretending to protect the snake and have the snake do his bidding.
タイバーは生きてた
Taiba was alive.
なんだと
What? Why was he so positive?
はるちゃんはメイコを連れて食堂へ
Haru-chan,
清之助さん
take Meiko to the
手を
dining
貸して
hall.
ください
Kyo no Suke, help me out. He tried to say something, but decided against it. You're coming with me, old man. He must have realized what happened to the one who'd usually be given these annoying jobs. As expected, the door to his house was unlocked. And the reek of fresh blood was so strong you could smell it outside. I thought that was enough to help me prepare. I don't know what I want more. Actually, I don't want him to be the spider, because if he's the spider, he's a bitch. Even though I hate spiders. I kind of want the old man to be the spider. Because he's the one who tried to get rid of the old man just because, oh, he's not useful. He's kind of annoying. He's not rational. Let's get rid of him. Oh, well, he was the spider. But once I saw the source, I couldn't help keep down what few contents my stomach had left. It's that bad that even you? The two from the first day, Kanzo Makishima and the Yotsugu Oribe, they'd lost all semblance of form to the point their corpses felt unrealistic. I see. On the other hand, Chikamochi Kamoshida and the old wolf guy's corpses were far too clean. Their faces were still intact, after all. However, Takumi Muro-san's corpse was an even balance between ruined and intact. It was spread out on the floor, surrounded by splashes and splotches of blood, as well as some bloody footprints. Scattered brain, gray matter, bone fragments, eyes. About 60% of his face was gone. This time, the method was clear. There was a rifle lying right next to his corpse. Why do they keep using different weapons? The weapon was actually on the scene for once, and it was a gun. What did it mean? I wanted to think about that, but I was too shaken by the clear agony Takumi-san's death had brought him. You could see his suffering on the still present half of his face. His hands were on his head, too, as if to cover his face, or reach for the clearly fatal wound. He died while holding on to his shattered brain. Oh God. Though fatal, the first attack hadn't killed him instantly. He could still move after it, which was a testament to his strength and willpower. His life had ended as he suffered overwhelming despair. It was written all too clearly on his death visage. I don't know. My emotions bubbled and overwhelmed my thoughts, and I vomited once again.
大丈夫かね
Are you okay? Kiyonosuke, she asked, clearly avoiding looking at it himself.
誰か
Bring
誰か
me someone who can use guns,
人を連れてきてください
please. And who's talking? I never expected you to come along. Her expression was too stern and serious for me to even say that. Chiemi? Or Taeba?
匠兄ちゃん
Chiemi.
くそ
I mean, that makes sense. She seemed to kind of look up to him. Takumi Nichan. Shit. She cursed and looked at the gun.
これ肝臓じいちゃんの
Oh, that's just... Wow. That's even worse. Because those two got along so well. That's messed up. This is Kanzo Ji-chan's rifle. She grasped its long body and picked it up.
5発全弾撃ち切って
All the 5 bullets were
空
fired.
薬莢
See any empty cartridges?
探す
I'll look around. I found them real quick. They were covered in blood and flesh. But yeah, I found the metallic cylinders. 5 of them. They were 2 meters away from the corpse, very close to one another. Either the culprit fired from there, or gathered them afterwards.
見て握りの部分
Look at the handle. Chiemi extended the rifle to me. I did as told. Compared to the rest of the gun, which had blood on every part, the handle was clean, like it had been wiped. Fingerprints?
指紋を拭き取った
Sorry, Adion. They removed the fingerprints?
かもね
Probably. Chiemi then held it like she was about to shoot, and aimed at Takumi-san's body.
ここから撃ってる
It was fired from here. How do you know?
どうしてわかる
How can you tell?
血の飛び散り方
The way the blood scattered.
あっちに向かって
See how it's
勢いよく飛ん
concentrated
でる
around
でしょ
there. It's proof the
かなり
culprit
低い
fired
角
from a
度
low
で撃った
angle.
証拠
Makes sense. That is something that professionals, forensics would look at. I just didn't know she'd be able to figure that out. Has she hunted growing up?
それ
Did
に
she say that she did?
普通のライフルはかなり至
Also,
近距離でも
normal
ない
rifles can't make such a
こういう
huge
風に
mess
めちゃめ
unless
ちゃ
they're
の傷
fired
には
from
なら
really
ない
close. That I would believe. Pretty sure even I know that.
かといって銃口を
But
押し
make
付
it
けて
point
撃ったら
blank and the stuff
い
would
ろ
get
んな
on
もの
and
が
around the
跳ね返って
muzzle.
銃口がもっ
The
と
rifle would
燃
be
えてる
even
はず
dirtier. And that was why it was natural to think it had been fired from where she was standing, near the cartridges.
狙って当たるもの
Can you actually aim and hit something with this?
ちゃんと狙い方を知っている
As long as you know how to aim and the
対
target
象
isn't
が動いて
moving,
いないこと
that's all you need.
これが揃えば大丈夫
ということは銃が使えるものの
So this was done by someone who knows how to use guns.
ちなみに
By the way, It's just a matter of looking at the bed, bead, through the sight. Guns are useful little toys that make murder so easy anyone can do it. Yep, it is pretty much the great equalizer.
弾の装填とかはそ
What about
の
loading?
人に渡してすぐに
That
できる
doesn't
と
seem
は
like
思え
something a
ない
layman can do. Is it?
それはそうかもね
Good point. But even Taeba-chan has experienced firing a gun. Finding the culprit in Yasumizu won't be easy. Does that mean, Nosato's about to bring everyone here? This was a settlement, where the people went hunting. Basically, everyone here must have touched rifles before. I mean, if they ever lost the main hunters, it would be smart that everyone at least knew the concept, I guess. All we could really assume was that Meiko-chan couldn't have done this. I guess. I mean, I would assume that, but I guess. Actually, how high was it? She's too short, right? And it's not like every bullet hit the head. One grazed the ear, one hit the chest, one hit the shoulder. Oh, and look here, a bullet hole. She pointed at a small part of the floor that was ruined. So only one hit the head. Yeah, that's what we think. Yeah, I think that one wasn't fatal though. It was probably the one in the chest that ended it. She looked at the body's pose and made the same conclusion as me. Why do you know so much about guns, anyway? I have a hunting license. I know how to use guns, traps, and nets. I used to do lots of skeet shooting outside of Yasumizu. I'm pretty good with the gun. Well, damn. Didn't expect that. I vaguely expected it, at least not that much, but at least to some extent. Like, I could believe the hunting license and everything. I can understand why. Did you plan to return here and become a hunter? I just wanted to have a gun. And that's it. She said that as if it was no big deal. Her tone seemed kind of dangerous. Yes, so much so that she almost killed someone. I think it happened in middle school. I grabbed a bat and beat up some students who were bullying the Yasumizu kids. What if they ever wanted revenge? It was the impression you'd get from a girl capable of random acts of violence. I don't know about that. Considering who, like, the Yasumizu families, the important families, right? That's why she was banished to here. But what if they wanted her dead, you know? I was probably jumping to conclusions, though. Can we clean it up now? If you're fine with it. Let's do it then. Did you find out anything? I'm not 100% certain that these murders were committed by people. So what about us dying to this, like, wolf thing at the first time? Was that not even real? Was that all in our head? The culprit used a gun and wiped off the fingerprints. Acts that demonstrated a very human level of cunning. Well, I mean, werewolves are supposed to be humans transformed into wolves. A lot of stories have them, like, not conscious and whatnot, but what if they were conscious? Also, what if they want you to believe you're just up against humans? That would be the smart thing to do, honestly. If we were up against something supernatural, they'd just use their mysterious powers instead. Maybe. But if they're bound to the game, you would want to confuse your opponents in any way possible, I suppose. Don't you think? If something mysterious can be explained using mundane means, then it was caused by mundane means. I mean, you're not entirely wrong there. That was a general rule I lived by, proven through both knowledge and first-hand experience. Supernatural powers that required carrying out occult rituals were prime examples of things it applied to. The more detailed the preparation required, the more opportunities to notice something amiss. If the trick relied on concealing the method, it was safe to assume the method was something mundane. Even this death wasn't caused by some kind of supernatural force. It just happened unobserved. We had people who could do it, and the methods that fit. Oh, but see... So yeah, that's the thing though. She just pointed out that pretty much most people here know how to use a gun. So using a gun instead of your supernatural abilities, or using your claws as a werewolf, you make everyone a suspect then. Like, you want to keep everyone a suspect as much as possible. That was the best way to look at it, right? Maybe you're right. You agree? I do think that it was done by people I know.
私の知ってる
By actual
誰かと
humans.
誰か。
でもそれは
But that... Didn't that go against her whole God story? Also, he doesn't seem to remember it. But I already made the choice of like trying to just leave and going through the mist, and we ended up dead. It did not end well. But he doesn't seem to remember that one. I wanted to ask that, but seeing her eyes made me fall silent. Her eyes were wide and cloudy.
でもね、
But... Her lips let out clear words.
神様からは
No one. I looked away. I probably wanted to cover my ears, too.
誰も
Can escape God.
逃げられないんだよね。
Yep. I found her words so irrational it began to frighten me. I asked Chiemi to call Kiyonosuke to help carry the corpse, but she insisted on doing it herself. I caved and we began the unpleasant task. Following Takumi-san's example, I removed the door and placed his body on it. And Chiemi and I each took on an end of the door and lifted it up. He's a big guy. He was as heavy as he looked, and I wouldn't have been surprised if this was too much even for 2 men. I was going to say, maybe you should go get Kyo and just have 3. However, Chiemi lifted her side without letting out a single grunt of exertion. It felt like active rejection of the idea that she might need help. We slowly began walking. Kiyonosuke was outside. He was anxious about something. It didn't look like he was waiting for us, so maybe Rikako Uematsu hadn't come out yet. I couldn't afford to stop and chat. Relaxing my arms or lower body could lead to me dropping Takumi-san. I kept walking forward without a single word. Sighing and stopping was our sign that one of us needed to rest. Every time one of us did it, we lowered him to the ground, rubbed our aching hands, adjusted our grips, and resumed walking. As we approached the cliff, Chiemi's expression grew darker.
匠兄ちゃんは安水で一番年の近いお
Takumi
姉ちゃん
Nichan
だった
was
から
the youngest of the adults. He was like an older brother to me. I wasn't going to ask how that mattered. I didn't see a point in questioning it. I simply nodded, continuing to play the role of the audience.
昔はいっぱい遊
He
んでく
played
れ
me
たし
with me a lot,
怒
and
ら
always
れた時
protected me
は
when the other
かばっ
adults
てくれ
got
た
mad at me.
こんな何もない
There's nothing good about this human place. But he loved Yasumizu and the people living here.
そうだね
Yeah,
わかるよ
I could tell.
まっすぐな人だった
He was honest to a fault.
うん
Yeah,
捨てたくないよ
I don't want to just throw him away.
ああ当然
Of
だと思
course you
う
don't. I don't
僕
like
だって
this
こんな
either.
やり方はしたくないやめる
Should we
こ
stop?
のやり方にこだわり
The
そうな
only
のは
ones who'd really care about this are
匠さん
Takumi-san
本人と
himself
大さんくらいしかい
and
ないんじゃないの
Tae-san, right?
うんうんし
No.
なきゃダメ
We gotta do this.
汚れか
Because of the corruption?
うん
Yeah. I continued asking if she was sure, but she didn't change her mind, so we ended up throwing his body into Saranaga. We walked through the graveyard, careful not to trip. We could now see the hanging pine through the mist. Our destination was near. We carefully closed in on the cliff and pushed the door towards it.
さよなら匠兄ちゃん
Bye, Takumi Nichan. She said that right as I felt the body slide off. It was falling. I'd done this several times now, but it still made me feel empty. It would eventually hit the water, make a splash, and that'd be it. It didn't splash. Huh?
水音した
Did you hear the water?
さあ
Not sure.
聞き違いか
Did we both miss it somehow? Wouldn't you still hear it hitting land? If you can hear it hit the water from up here, wouldn't you maybe still hear it hit something else?
あるいはサラナガの底が抜けて黄泉の国につながってるのか
Or
も。
maybe the bottom of Saranaga open up into a yawning chasm leading to Yami.
本当にファンタジーだね。
You've got quite the imagination.
霧の向こうに何があるか
No one knows
誰も
what's
知ら
beyond the
ない。
mist. There could be
誰も
anything
証明
out
できない。
there.
今から降りてみせよう
Should I
か。
go down and take a look?
あなたは帰ってこない。
Well, that's ominous. Are you sure? You won't return. That was how she saw the world.
戻ろう。
Let's go back. We returned to do another investigation at Takumi-san's house, but something strange had happened while we were gone. Are we sure she's okay? You heard rustling, but Hiono Sukeshi was still in the same spot, in front of Rikako Uematsu's house, waiting for her without even trying to hide his frustration.
まだ出てこないんですか？
She still hasn't come out?
全く大丈夫そうと言ったのは君だが、
No.
どういう根拠だと？
You're the one who said she seemed alright. What made you think that?
音がしたから。
I heard sounds.
待ってる間にあなた自身で呼んでみればよかったんじゃないですか？
We're gonna look suspicious. He's gonna try to accuse us, isn't he? But technically he also looks suspicious for not calling out to her. Why didn't you call out to her yourself, instead of just waiting?
そんなぶしつけなことができるか？
You're so stupid. As if I could do something so rude.
なんでそんなにリカコさんに
Why is she the only one you're nice to?
ノサ
Nosato is above Uematsu, isn't it? That was an interesting bit of info. I hadn't realized that the head families had a hierarchy. Makes
女
sense.
性に気を使うのは当然だ。
It's only natural to be considerate of women. Huh? Is she not a woman in front of you?
私も女性なんですけど。
Or are you gonna say she's a barbarian for for almost killing someone with a bat? I haven't seen you really be nice to any other woman. You definitely seem to favor Uematsu. I'm a woman too, though.
あえて敵外心をむき出しにしてくる相手に気を使う必要があるのかね？え？
Well, then you're a liar. You can't just say women, then. It's like specific women who meet certain conditions. I don't see a reason to be considerate of someone so hostile towards me. Do you?
勘弁してくださいよ。
Please stop.
ついさっ
We
き
just
そこで
finished putting a
死人が
body
出
to
たんです
rest.
よ。
That was probably one of the reasons why they were so agitated. But my comment was enough to shut them up.
とはいえ心配ですね。
Though, yes,
中で
I'm
病
worried
気やら
too.
怪我やらしてたら
She
大
might
変
need
だ。
help if she's sick or
最悪
injured.
踏み込みましょう。
We may have no choice but to barge in.
そんなぶしつけな。
How improper. Do you want to know if she's alive or not? Was he the type of guy to report someone who undressed a girl to give her proper first aid? What was up with this guy's priorities?
上松さん。
Uematsu-san. Rikako Uematsu-san. I bashed the door almost violently. I heard the sound of rustling clothes. Had she collapsed or something? Rustling clothes. Is there like clothes hanging somewhere that's like getting hit by some wind? Is she dead in there and like her clothes are like hanging off her? Rustling?
上松さん。戸を開けますよ。
Uematsu-san, I'm opening the door. Watch it be open. No answer again. Only sounds. Was it really Rikako Uematsu in there?
戸を破ります。
Let's break it down. Chiemi nodded, while Kiyono Sukeshi gave a disgruntled sigh. Come on, dude. We have to check. The door was made from thin plywood in a wooden frame. A solid impact would break through. Then what's the point? I looked around and saw a few aged farming tools lying against some houses. The old wooden hoe and mallet were too rotten to work here. But the old axe looked just right.
せーの。
1, 2... I lifted the axe and started counting, but had to stop midway. There was a sound of clattering. Is she in there? So she realized we're about to break it down and suddenly she's coming out? But why? Is she the spider and somehow is aware that the one she was supposed to be protecting is dead and feels bad about it? Did she think he'd be safe if everyone thinks she's going to protect him? What's about to happen? The door suddenly moved. Why? Surprised, I jumped backwards and glanced at the other two. They were just as shocked, if not frightened.
Nani?
What's that?
何ってリカ子さんだ。
What do you mean? It has to be Rikako-san.
植松さん。
There was no response at first, but a few seconds later the door shook again. A moment later, it fell silent once more. Had she collapsed on the door? If she wasn't well and she was lying next to the door, breaking it open was dangerous. I put the axe down and walked up to the door again. The moment I approached it, I heard a clicking sound. A clicking sound? It's not a gun, is it? I didn't even have time to question what happened before it creaked open. There was a gap of about 20 centimeters. It was pitch black inside. And there was a face all covered in blood. But it's morning. You are not supposed to be a werewolf. It sunk back into the darkness the very next moment. But it was soon replaced by an inhuman scream and an arm that snaked out and grabbed for my neck. The grip had inhuman strength behind it. I ignored Chiemi and Kiyonosuke-shi's screams and tried to pry myself free. Use the axe. Do you still have it? My throat was on the verge of crushing. The groans continued ceaselessly. The nails dug into my neck, and I was being dragged inside. Help! How the hell is she so strong? Do you see what I see? This arm clearly belonged to Rikako Uematsu. So why? Help me! My words got them out of their stupor, and they ran up to me. As panic and lack of oxygen dimmed my vision, they grabbed, bashed, and tugged at the arm that was holding on to me. Damn it! Hey, let go! Just one finger. I don't know how long it took, but when I was eventually freed, Jamie swiftly slammed the door shut. Bring something I can use to bar that door. Like what? Just shove the axe in it. Sitting on the ground in shock, I simply stared at their exchange. I could still barely breathe. My vision was hazy and I couldn't think clearly. Something inside was trying to get the door open and possibly escape. What it was, though, I had no idea. Okay, I'm pretty sure we could have broken the door down. How is this thing not getting out? What had happened to Rikako Uematsu? How about this? Nosato-san, hold it shut. I'll bring the others and we'll barricade it. Haruaki-san, are you alright? Can you stand? Yeah. Actions were more important than words here. Stealing my resolve, I rose to my feet. We gathered everyone who could still move and sealed off Rikako Uematsu's door and windows with planks, nails, large farming tools, and whatever else we could find. The small house was basically a pile of flimsy barricades now. Everyone was tired from all the work and sat down to rest. What's the point of doing this, though? Someone asked. We could still hear groans and crashing sounds from the inside. No one answered the question, but we all understood that letting that thing out would be a mistake. But what exactly was it, anyway? So, not a werewolf? Yomibito. That seemed like an answer. Of some sort, anyway.
どういうこと
What do you mean?
読み字より来たる汚れた
Corrupted folk that came from Yomi. You know, don't you? It's to be a Yomi Bito, that.
間違いない
いや、そうじゃなくて。
That's not what I
ユ
mean.
ミビトは
The Yomi Bito are the wolves, right?
宴で殺され
They
た
came back to life because of their grudge over being killed during the feast.
そうとは限らんのよ
It's not always like that, Haru-chan. Yasumizu has always been menaced by Yomi Bito. I was about to say, because the wolves used to be on our side. Before they got betrayed or something, or... I forget. But they used to be on our side.
あるいは
Or maybe this is the corruption. Uematsu-sama might have broken an important law. True. Maybe she killed the old man and whatnot, but I don't see why she would. She seems like a genuinely nice person.
バカな近畿の守り手浄化を司るのが雲の家の役目だぞ
That can't be. Protecting the laws is the role of the purifying spider family. So the guardians do have the actual families, but these are the outcasts. So they might not necessarily pick the families. Did he assume that the spider guardian would pick someone who's actually of the spider family? Is that why he said he didn't want the spider to out themselves? That might have been it. She touched too much of the corruption. Okay, welcome in. Thanks for your daily check-in.
それ
But that's... She might have come to Yasumizu to keep at least a bit of the Yami's corruption away. Boop, good night, 6 a.m. Me dead tired. Go to sleep, Kai. Get some sleep. Rest well. How many Yamabito will we have now? Takumi was a good boy. Maybe it's a good thing he died before seeing hell. Okay, old lady. Thus, I offer homage to Shinai, the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Thus, I offer homage to Shinai, the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. A silent prayer. Her eyes were teary and her shoulders were shaking.
待て
Wait.
じゃあ
Then Rikako-san is...
もう
Okay, but this doesn't count as the vote, right? You still have to have another feast and vote someone to be hanged. This doesn't count, right? Naomi Bito must be hanged. That didn't sit right with me. The rule was that breaking the laws meant getting the corruption, and getting the corruption meant being slaughtered, right? It was the first time I had heard that it was possible to do something about the corruption, and that she'd die because of that. Logic had little ground here, so the people were gradually losing their minds. They were being pushed closer to death. It was like this was a supernatural phenomenon. Hi! You don't look creepy right now.
皆さん、食事にしませんか?
Also creepy, even though that's reasonable because you're the one who cooks normally, but... Is anyone hungry?
私は
I've already calmed down,
落ち着きました
so
から。
we can do the rest after you have calmed down as
他の
well.
ことは皆さんが落ち着いてから。
It was a very attractive suggestion. I don't know, she could poison us all. As we all turned away and returned to the dining hall, I felt like Rikako Uematsu let out a groan even more inhumanly loud than any of those before. Once we arrived, the place was dominated by a heavy silence. There were sounds coming from the kitchen. A kitchen knife rhythmically hitting the cutting board as Kaori-san prepared the food. Tae-san was seated away from everyone, desperately, yet fluently chanting a sutra. Combined with the kitchen sounds, it had a mind-numbing effect. Everyone else was simply falling into a torpor. A torpor? Huh? Staring silently into space. Even I, the sanest person in the room, wanted to simply let my mind shut down and stop thinking. That wouldn't stop me from trying, though. Rather than trying to evaluate the details, I decided to return to square one and summarize the current situation. Takumi-san was dead. That left me, Chiemi, the two Oribes, Kiyonosuke-shi, Tai Yamawaki-shi, Meiko, Rikako Uematsu, and Haru Makishima, a total of 9. And Rikako Uematsu, I didn't want to say she'd become a Yamibito or something, but it was clear that she was in a condition that left her functionally useless. Normally, the right thing to do here would be to take her to a hospital. I don't know about that. But instead, they were going to discuss killing her. I'd probably have to remind them of the sound course of action. Whatever the case, if you ignored Rikako Uematsu and I, only 7 people were participating in the feast. With Takumi-san's death, we would never know what the snake found out about Haru Makishima. Therefore, the only confirmed people were Kiyonosuke-shi, a human, and Meiko, a monkey. Unfortunate. So, could it be possible that Rikako is the snake or the spider, and she was doing her job, but because she took in too much corruption, which is another part of her job, that she wasn't able to do her duties as the spider, which is just unfortunate timing and everything, which worked very well for the wolves, it seems. And personally, I thought I could trust Chiemi, so that made 3. That left 4 others. This was bad. I wonder if Chiemi understood that. I had to talk to her in private.
ねえ、お姉ちゃんは
We've never even gotten to use the Raven's ability. Or whatever the bird is. The spider's already potentially dead, I guess. Maybe. If we're assuming the spider was Uematsu. Or the old man. We lost 1 monkey. We've lost a lot of guardians. We lost a monkey. We potentially lost a spider, maybe. And we lost a snake for sure. All you have is 1 monkey, which is... all you have for that is that they're not a suspect, so that's kind of useless. All you have left is the raven, maybe. Worse, if the old man was the raven, and Uematsu is the spider, then you've lost all hope. Bah, where's Oni-chan? We'd kept Meiko away from all that happened this morning, so she was still in the dark about Rikako-san. She's not feeling too good. Leave her in peace. Okay. Hey, can I go outside?
危険じゃないか。
Isn't it dangerous?
私見とくよ。
I'll look after her.
すぐそこなら
She'll be safe if she stays close. The 2 left.
安永、ちょっと、
何かな
What?
ちょっと、
There's something I want you to
取ってきてほしいものが
fetch.
ね。
手洗いを借りる。
I'm going to use the bathroom. More and more people left. They probably didn't feel comfortable standing up until now. Tae-san just continued chanting, though. It was like she lived in another world. Besides her, all that was left was... Hi, Haru. Haru-chan. The way she constantly shifted in her seat made it clear she felt uncomfortable.
匠さんのことは残念だったね。
Sorry about Takumi-san. I tried talking to her.
ええ。
Yeah.
知恵姉も
Chieni always relied on him.
上松里香子さんは
What about Rikako Uematsu-san?
私あの人苦手
I
よ。
didn't like her.
気味
She
悪い
creeped me out.
ちえみちゃんは平気そうだったけど
Chiemi-chan seemed fine with her, though.
知恵姉は強いもん。
That's because she's strong.
彼女
When did
上松
Uematsu-san
がこ
arrive
っち
here?
へ来たの
2年か3年前。
2 or 3 years ago.
だいぶ前よ。
Not recently, at least. That seemed like plenty of time to get to know a person, if you ask me. Or maybe not. Yasumizu's people had been suffering at the hands of the village heads for generations. Of course they couldn't just accept her.
彼女は長者だというが
I hear she's one of the village
上松
heads.
家の家は一体ど
What,
ういう
what
家
kind
な
of
んだ
family are the Uematsu anyway?
何が聞きたいのよ。よそ者はおとなしくしてよって言われるの何度目ですか？
What do you even want to know? How many times do we have to tell you that you're an outsider and should just stay out of all this? My life is on the line, girl. Also, you need as many people trying to solve this as possible, let's be honest here.
あー、ごめん。
Oh,
これは無
sorry.
神経だった。
That was insensitive.
じゃあ別の話にしよう。
Let's talk about something else
それはいい。
then, alright? Also, is it reasonable for an outsider to come here not knowing anything and be a wolf? Shouldn't the wolves know everything? I mean, they need to know the rules of the game, right? Shouldn't they know more than the rules? And wouldn't it benefit the wolves to know their way around this place? To know the ins and outs? To not get caught and whatnot? I mean, if you trust Jamie, how lucky were we that a innocent person managed to get us out of the game altogether so that we didn't have to deal with trying to out-talk people who don't know us and thus instantly don't trust us.
別
Like,
に
chill out,
い
Haru.
いけど。
Fine. I looked around. As I saw Yasunaga-kun walk upstairs, I lowered my voice and asked,
君にとってモッチーはどんな存在だ
What
った
was
んだ？
Mochi to you?
なんで聞くの？
Why are you asking?
お葬式代わりだよ。
To make up for his lack of funeral.
え？
Huh?
お葬式では
In funerals,
亡くなった人
you
の
talk
ことを
about the
話
people
す
who
だろう。
passed away, right?
死者の
I
思い出を
remember
話
hearing
す
that
こと
gives their
は
souls
霊
peace.
魂の供養になるらしいよ。
Come on, talk to me.
なんか意外。
This is unexpected.
何が？
What is?
もっと血も涙もない人だと思ってたから。
You seem to judge people a
言い
lot.
出すって思わなかった。
I thought you were cold and heartless. I didn't think I'd hear something about peace in the afterlife from you. That was just rude. She's rather rude, to be fair.
モッチーは野里の子だったけど、
Mochi was a
選ぶって感
Nosato,
じじゃ全然なかった。
but he never acted like he was better than anyone.
すっごく変だった
He
し。
was weird and as much as a
知恵ねえと
troublemaker
同
as
じくらい
Jamie.
いろんな
but he
問題
never
を
hurt
起こしてた
anyone.
けど、みんなはモッチー
Everyone said he wasn't right in the
頭
head,
おかしいって言って
but
た
I
けど
didn't think so.
私は
That's what Yasu said. Yasu said he was a genius. I think he was. A very strange genius, but
とっても
be
面
like that.
白い人。多分
he was really
テレビ
funny.
とかに出て
I think he would have been really
大活
popular
躍
if he
するよ
appeared
う
on
なのが
TV.
向いてたと思うわ。
Wait, are they supposed to know about TVs? I know Chieni would.
一つ上だったけど、
He was
ほと
one
んど
year
同
older
い
than
年
me,
の友達
but he
みたいに
treated me
接
like
してく
someone
れ
his
た
own
し、
age.
楽しかったわよ。
I always had tons of fun with him. Well, this is pretty nice. This definitely makes me not suspect you.
兄ちゃんもすごく
He
仲
got
良か
along
った
really
し。
well with Nii-chan, too.
そんなに？
He did.
うん。
Yeah,
い
they
つ
were
も
always
一緒にいた
together,
し、
and they were like a pair of
学校でも
heroes in school.
ヒーローみたいな二人組だった。時々
They got
横に
along
いて
so well that
寂しく
I
なるくら
sometimes
い
felt lonely with
仲良
them.
かった。
Her visage dimmed. I felt like she was easier to understand than most. If Mochi had really liked her, it must have been a tough love. She hadn't even looked at him in that regard, and being with Yasunaga-kun even made him a target of her jealousy.
でも彼はもう
But he's
いない
gone now. Yasunaga-kun must feel
辛いだろ
terrible.
うな。
うん。
Yeah,
彼を手伝ってあげたら？
why not help him out? Yasunaga-kun was going up the stairs again. I gestured at him with my chin.
え？
What do you mean, huh? Go!
なんかお手伝い中っぽいし。
He's doing something for his
ちえみちゃん
mom,
は外だし。
and Jamie-chan's outside.
君はモッチーの代わりには
I
な
don't
れ
think
ない
you
か
can
もしれ
replace
ないし
Mochi.
そ
And
こに
Jamie-chan's
立つべきは
probably
ち
the
えみ
best
ちゃんな
person
の
for
か
the
もしれ
job.
ないが、最後に決めるのは
But even
彼
if they
ら
are
だ
the
と
ones
し
who will
て、
make the final
それま
decision,
でにしてあげ
there's
たい
no
こ
reason
と
to
を
hold
我慢
yourself
する
back in the
必要はない
meantime,
んじゃないか。
right?
助けになりたいとは思
You
う
want to
な。
help him, don't you? You know you do.
うん。
Yeah,
あなたも
you too?
ま
Well,
あ、彼女には
Jamie
一
gave me
以
way
上の
more
恩が
than
ある
just
か
a
らね。
meal and a place to stay.
下心がないとは言わない
I
が
won't say I don't have any ulterior motives, But more than
彼女を
that,
支えたい。
I just want to support her.
彼女は僕
She
には
seems to be
見えない
suffering
も
at
の
the
に
hands of things
随
I
分
can't even
苦しんでいる
comprehend.
みたいだから。
やっぱりあなたのことを
Yeah,
誤解して
I
たか
think I
も。
misunderstood you. I misunderstood a lot of people.
仕方ないよ。
I can't
行く
blame
のか
you.
い？
Are you going?
うん。昨日の
Yeah.
こと謝ら
I
なき
still need to
ゃ。
apologize for yesterday.
じゃあ僕も外へ。
Then I'll go outside too. We stood up at the same time. Though Haru-chan was always on edge, deep inside, she was a really honest girl. Honest but judgmental. I worried that she'd fall victim to some scumbag like me down the road.
あ、
Oh,
何？
what?
やっぱりあなた
Maybe
は
you
逃
should
げ
really
た方
run
が。
away.
いや、
Never
なんで
mind.
もない。
Forget I said anything. She was almost gonna say we should run away, but I already know we can't. Why would you think we could? She cut herself short and hurried upstairs. Apparently, I'd gained some of her trust, but it didn't look like I could get anything more useful than that bit of advice. Unlike the other inhabitants, she just believed that escape was impossible. That was why she tried to do it yesterday. That might have been the extent of it.
それで誰が怪しいと思う？
So, who do you suspect? Hello Shoujo, welcome in. Thanks for the lurk. Who do I suspect? Thank you for daily check-in, Shoujo. I guess I do have to kind of suspect Yasu, maybe. Taiba is doing her chance, but that might be a good cover. You're welcome, Shoujo. Who do I suspect? It's kind of hard to suspect anyone. I don't know. I mean, Haru just gave that whole little speech and that little smile and everything. She seemed genuine. I can't suspect Kyo. I would just suspect him, but I can't. That only leaves... Maybe I should go for Yasu. Because he said it himself that his mother loved his older brother more. Wait, older brother or younger brother? Wait, I forget. I forget who's older. Doesn't matter. He loved the brother more. So maybe he was jealous. Or maybe he was resentful. And that's why he had that little one-on-one with his brother, maybe. Because that one seemed very personal. Like, that one seemed like that he actually did something. Actually fought against the whatever killed him, at least tried to. And put up a fight. So maybe Yasu made it personal and gave him a chance to kind of mess with him. To make himself, Yasu, feel better. And now he'll kill his mom. I guess I don't really have any good names to say. So Yasu and... I don't know, the old lady, I don't know.
はるちゃんと安永くん。
Haru and Yasunaga. That's tempting, and it's what I said before. With those two, but... Unless they're killing people independently. I walked up to Chiemi, who was looking after Meiko, and we started a conversation.
はるちゃんはともかく、ヤス
I
君
can
なの？
understand Haru-chan, but Yasu-kun?
容疑者は実質4人。
We have 4 suspects.
タイさんと
Tae-san,
そしてその
Kaori-san, and them.
このうち昨日モッチ
He was the only one out of those who was outside when Mochi died yesterday.
さらに狼の狡
And
猾
considering
さ
how
を考え
cunning
れ
the
ば
wolves are,
彼以外
can't
に
imagine it
考え
being
づらい
anyone but him. Fair.
ずる賢いってこと？
He's that devious?
うん。
Yeah.
そうなの？
Really?
今日、なぜ匠さんは死んだ？
Why did Takumi-san die today?
なぜって
Huh? What do you mean?
狼に殺されたから
He was obviously killed by the wolves. No, but what we're saying is, the spider was supposed to protect him.
それを聞きたいんじゃない。
And that's not what I'm asking.
え
Huh?
一体何が
What do you mean? Oh,
あ
I
もし
think
か
I
して
get it.
こういうこと？雲に守られな
Because the
かった
spider
から
didn't protect him.
正解。
Right.
おそらくもう、
The spider is probably already dead. Or it's Rikako.
え、
Huh? Wait.
蛇である匠さんは、
When you think about it, on the first day,
初日確かに
Takumi-san was
雲に守られ
protected
た
by
は
the
ず。
spider.
そして2日目であ
And
る
yesterday,
昨日、
no one actually said that the spider should protect someone else, right?
話は一
うん。
Yeah.
ということは、雲は引き
That
続
means that
き
the spider once
重
again
要度の
protected
高い匠
Takumi-san.
さんを守ったと考え
He's
る
way
べき
too valuable. At least,
雲が
that's
生き
what
てた
should have happened if the spider was still alive.
それはそうか。
Or, if Kyo, that bastard, was the spider, what is Kyo's family supposed to be, actually? He might have explained it, but I don't remember. I wonder if he said monkey. Did he explain what his family was? Because Yoimatsu's family is the spider family, right? What was the Nosato family? Well, that's true.
宴開始後にやられた匠さん以外の人は、
Since the feast
勘
started,
三さん、
the ones who died before Takumi-san
もっち、
were Kanzo-san,
狼じじし、
Yochisugu-kun, Mochi, and the old man who cried wolf.
この4人の中に
One of
雲がい
these
て
four was the spider.
なおかつそれを
The
狼
wolves
に
realized
見抜き
this, killed
そして
him, and then went for
その上で
Takumi-san.
を始末した。そうとしか考え
And
ら
that's
れ
the
ない。
only logical explanation. I don't know if that's the only logical one. Again, my theory about Kyo. Or about Rikako, depending on when she transformed.
え、それは考えすぎじゃない？
Huh?
4人も
Aren't you
死ん
just
だから
overthinking it?
そろそろ雲もいないだろ
What
う
if they just assumed the spider was gone because 4 people died?
楽天的に考え
And
れば
that's
そう
the
だ
optimistic
ね。
take.
しかし
But
相
if
手
we're
が
actually
本当に
dealing with
賢
someone
い奴だったら
clever,
その
underestimating
油断
them
が
would be a
最後
fatal
の致命傷
mistake.
になる。
でもどうやって雲を見抜ける
But
って
how'd they find out who the spider is?
声が大きい。
You're too loud. What's wrong with this? She's a monkey. She's cleared.
なんでもないよ、メイコちゃん。
It's nothing, Meiko-chan. She resumed scribbling on the ground. She was completely absorbed in it, for some reason. Because she's a child?
雲については
I think it's likely that the wolves guessed
見
who
抜
was
け
a
た可能
spider.
性があったかもしれない。
それって
But
どうやって
how?
初日、
You told me that
勘三さんが
on the
安永
first
君
day,
に喋らせてから
Kanzu-san let
最終決
Yasunagi,
定をさせたって言ってた。
Yasunaga-kun talk for most of the feast and only made the final decision, right?
僕の見立てでは、
He looked like a
彼
more
はもっと
proactive
率
type to
先して
me.
動くタイプだし、
I doubt he'd agree
初
to
日
not
に
hang
誰も
anyone
殺
on
さ
the
ない
first day.
という判断を下しそうにもない。
まあそう言われたらそうか
Well,
も
that's true.
でも
But
そ
what
れが
about
どう
it?
したの？
彼が喋って決定が行われれば、場に与える影響はとてつもなく大きい。
If he'd spoken up and taken initiative, he could have easily controlled the situation. And most of his decisions would have been good calls.
だから狼に狙われ
That was why he was such a good target for the
と
wolves.
僕らは考えたよね。
That's what we thought, right?
そうだけど同じ時
That's
に
true.
ヤス君も狙われやす
But
い
we
って
also thought the
話した
same
じゃん
about Yasu-kun.
逆を返せば、
On the other hand,
自分が狼
if you're a
なら
wolf,
狼に
you have no
狙われる
chance of
リスク
becoming a
は
target
ない
for the
わけだ。
wolves.
それよりも大事な
It's
ことを
more dangerous for them
黙って
to not
自
say
然に
anything
なれる方が
important
危ない。
and look
だ
suspicious.
から
Giving away
当たり
harmless
障りの
info,
ない情報
for
を
one,
出す
is way better. That's what I've been kind of saying, basically. I've been saying it in a more roundabout way, but yeah, that's what I've basically been saying.
もしそうなら、とても賢い選択だ。そうは思わない？
That's a clever thing to do, don't you think?
でも肝臓じいちゃんが
But how's that related to
肝
Kanzo Ji-chan keeping his silence?
これから言うのは
Well,
完全に憶
this is
測
all
だ
just
けど、
speculation.
肝臓さんが動かなか
But I
ったの
think he
は
kept quiet to avoid
権威を
calling
発揮して
attention to himself.
狼に
So
目
the
を
wolves
つけられ
wouldn't
るのを
target him.
防ぐため。
Why would he do that? Because he felt that his survival was intrinsically linked to that of the others. Because he had a guardian. Ah. Was he the spider? Yeah. It was probably the spider. That's unfortunate. Why are you so confident? The spider is the most valuable participant in the feast. The most vulnerable participant in the feast. After all, the one person they can't protect is themselves. But as long as his identity was hidden, he had the possibility of making the wolves waste a night. True. So their kills are guaranteed unless they try to kill someone who's being protected. That was probably why he tried not to stand out. But it worked against him and attracted the wolves' attention. He, of all people, is quiet. He must have an amazing guardian, and all that. That led to the wolves taking him out on the first day, and then taking out Takumi-san, now defenseless, on the second. Right. So the possibility of him being the spider is pretty high. I doubt he was the Raven at that point then. I mean, there's still the possibility that one of the other guys just so happened to be a spider. I know that's just speculation, but I kind of feel like you're right. If even that was planned by the enemies, it's best to assume that the anomalies, too, have all been shortcuts for the wolves. What do you mean? Too many people died outside the rules. Yoshitsugu-kun, Mochi, the old wolf guy, and Rikako Uematsu. She's effectively dead now. To the wolves, unplanned deaths are a good thing. The less feasts they have to survive, the lower the chance they'll be hanged. True, the quicker they get this over with, the better. It also puts them at risk of less suspects, but then what if they plan for those people to die? I see your point, but how could they pull it off? Get people to kill each other? And they could tell Yoshitsugu-kun to walk around on side at night, basically sending him to the corruption, because he broke the rule. I don't know the motive behind Mochi and the wolf guy's deaths, but it all makes sense if they were killed by Rikako Uematsu. Wait, what? What? Tai-san talked about Uematsu's role, and thought she fell to the corruption because of it. But there's a more reasonable explanation. If she killed the two, she'd have broken the feast rule of one person per day and become a target of the corruption. Yeah? I put aside the idea that there were, apparently, two types of corruption. Slaughter and madness. But how? Did you see the clothes she wears? She wouldn't have the time to change. And there's no way she could have won against two men, right? I suppose. Well, sure. I was going to question his manhood, but... Then how about this? Mochi or the wolf guy killed the other, and the one who survived was killed by her. So she got them to fight each other? I don't know that she could get Mochi to do it, but I feel like she could get the old man to do it. She became the target of the corruption for drawing the blood of a second person in one day. I don't know about the clothes, but it could be solved by a large apron or something. We can't say it's impossible until we verify it. But even a single guy sounds like too much for her. I feel like Mochi would win his fight. Could she beat Mochi? Oh, well, if the old man surprised Mochi, she could take down the old man, surely. One of them was senile, though. Or maybe they were weakened from trying to kill each other. True. Kill?
そんな、なんでそんなこと考えられるの？
How could you think something like that? Did you forget what we're involved in? Even you've had to think some harsh things, let's be honest.
だから全部憶
Again,
測だ。
it's all just
動機
speculation.
だって不明。
I don't even know the motive,
しかし話
but
の
it does
筋は
make
通っている。
sense.
じゃあ、それがどうして
But how is that related to the wolves' conspiracy?
動機の話になるとわからな
I
いけ
don't
ど
know the motive here either.
弱みを握った
But if they knew her weakness or something,
殺すように仕向け
they
る
could have
方法
goaded her
は
into
あるん
killing
じゃない
them.
かな。あるいは
Or maybe she was a wolf
彼女
herself.
自身が狼だとかね。
What, she took one for the team? Wouldn't that be kind of dumb? Jamie was at a loss for words. I had no choice but to continue myself.
狼の
Oh, hey,
他の仲間
unavailable?
が
Sorry,
優
I
位
was
になるように
super paying
自
attention
ら
to the
時計
game,
の
but
針を
welcome
進
and
めたって
unavailable.
可能性もあ
Hope
る。
you're doing good today. Because I admit, his little theories are intriguing, so I am deep in it. She could have hastened the whole process to give the other wolf an advantage.
それはないよ。
I really doubt
狼
that.
は数が減る
Getting
ほど来る
themselves
じゃん。
killed would be really bad for the wolves.
確かに
True.
狼対人の人数
Considering
比
the
で
number
言え
of
ば
wolves and humans, losing one wolf to take out two humans isn't a good deal.
しかし
But there was no guarantee that everyone would realize that.
とは限らない。
So they could still be under the suspicion that there's two wolves, and that could play to the advantage of the one remaining wolf. So even if he gets suspected, he could try to pretend someone is his partner and let that partner get killed first, while he tries to make another final kill.
誰もが合理的に動くわけじゃない。
I mean, I imagine
非合理的なことは多分起こってい
if
る
there's
し
just one other
その
person
全てを
besides
予
the
測
wolf,
することは不可
I
能
don't think
だ。
that one person is going to be able to succeed in hanging the person, right? Because with a large enough group, everyone can band together to anyone who tries to act out from not wanting to be hanged. Everyone can hold that person down and force them. The less people there are, the harder it is to force someone to be hanged. If there's only one person left, I don't see you succeeding. So I feel like if there's only one person left, that's a game over. Maybe. Unless it was Takumi. He probably could have done it. But he dead, so... Not everyone acts logically. There's lots of illogical stuff going on. And predicting their effects is impossible.
いや、
No,
聞きたくない。
I don't want to hear that.
でも
But you can't
諦
give
め
up,
るわけにはい
can
かない
you?
だろう。
もう何も考えたくないよ。
I don't want to think anymore.
ごめん。い
Sorry,
ろいろ言ってさ。
I said too much.
うん。
Don't
こっちこ
worry.
そごめん。
I'm the one who should be
で
sorry.
もちょっと
But, yeah,
きつい。
this is a bit hard for me.
僕もこれ以上君た
I
ちが
really
こ
don't
んな
think
も
you
のに
people
付
need
き
to
合
keep
う必
playing
要は
along
ない
with
と思う
this. I'll help you
脱
escape
出す
if
る
you
なら
want.
協力するけど
It don't work like that. We already tried.
無理だよ。
We can't.
わかってるんだ。
I just know that if you're
ここ
born
に生ま
here,
れたなら、
you're fated to
こ
die
こで死
here.
ぬしかないんだよ。
I wasn't even born here and I'm fated to die, apparently.
そんなのは単なる思い込みだよ。
That's just a baseless delusion.
神様が見えない人にわ
Someone
か
who
らな
can't see
い。
God would never understand.
ああ、わ
Yeah.
からないな。
I won't.
困ったな。
How troubling. It really was troubling. If this was some tabletop fun for the whole family game, I'd have already punched the GM and left. But lives were actually on the line here. Not just my own, but also that of someone I kind of liked. We made it this far, yet she was uncooperative. Maybe I was going about this wrong. Maybe if I wanted to save her life, I had to start by saving her from the darkness within. Or maybe from the unidentified supernatural phenomenon that was binding her. Though that didn't seem like something that could be done in just 3 or 4 days. Still, I'd struggle until the very end. I couldn't participate in the feast myself, so I had no choice but to leave it to Jamie. I didn't say anything more to her. I just chose to believe she'd overcome her inner conflict soon. Meanwhile, Mako's drawing had grown so large it felt like she would get lost in the mist.
おーい。
Hey! I left Jamie and went to Mako. Why does she bawl all the time? She waved at me. Good thing she was kind of used to me now.
さっきから何を描いてるんだい？
What are you drawing?
こっちがね、お守り。
Those are guardians.
お守り？
Guardians? One drawing showed a warped circle with a line, just as strange going through it. A warped circle with a line? That's the guardian? Is that the spider? Surely that's not a snake, or the monkeys, or the raven. Ah, but I could see what it was. It looked much like the Higuchi family crest I saw in the dining hall. There were 4 of them, apparently. The others were hard to differentiate. Oh, that whirling drawing was the same as the one on the stone. The symbol of the Yomotsu Okami.
なるほど。
I see.
新内さんのお守りか。
Shinai-sama's guardians.
お姉ちゃんに教わっ
Did
たのかい？
One-chan teach them to you? Yeah.
こっちのは？
What about these?
お守りじゃないね。
They're not guardians, are they?
家畜。
They're cattle. Cattle? I certainly wasn't expecting to hear such a vivid word from a girl about 4 years old. Are they the humans?
動物かい？
Animals, huh?
これはね。
Yeah. This is a cow.
ふむふむ。
Mm-hmm.
これは。
This is a donkey.
おお。
こっちはね。
This is a pig.
ああ。
Okay, dude. The ground wasn't the best canvas, and the little girl wasn't the best artist. All I could really tell was that they all had 4 legs.
これは？
And this is?
私。
Me! It had 4 legs, though. Well, whatever. Maybe it's her as a sheep.
じゃあ、一番
Maybe she
でっ
actually
かい
is a
これ
sheep.
は？
Maybe that's why she has no memory. She's just a baby sheep that's become a human somehow. And this? It's bigger than the others.
狼。
A wolf. A light chill went down my spine.
え、
Huh?
なんで狼
Why a
なの？
wolf?
狼が来るから。
Because the wolf is coming. Huh? The wolf is coming. Now she sounds like the old man. Which is strange. Did the old man have some extra ability outside of the Guardians that has now been passed on to Mako? Also, what is the old man's story? For all we know, he could have been an outsider who came here as a kid. That was like...
狼が来るから。逃げて。
Because the wolf is coming.
逃げなきゃいけ
I
な
had
く
to run
て。
far, far away. Do you mean... From... Wait, what do you mean? Coming here? You ran from wherever you came from to here?
待ってくれ、メコちゃん。
Hold on,
君は
Mako-chan.
狼を知ってるの
You
か？
know the wolf?
会ったことない。でも、怖
I
い。
haven't met him, but I know he's scary.
それはここの
Is this the
狼？
same wolf as we have here?
ね。
蛇とか
Where's the
猿
snake
と
and
かは？
monkey?
知らない。
I don't know.
狼は何をするの？
What does the wolf do?
家畜を食べる。
Eat the... Sorry, to burp. Eat the cattle.
食べる？
Eat?
うん。お馬は
Yeah,
食べられた
They
っ
said
て。
the horse was eaten. The horse? What, is she from some other secret village that has her own guardians? The horse, the pig, the cow? Yeah, it seems like it. Apparently this had nothing to do with Fujiyoshi's legend. So she came from the outside that still has wolves? I had no idea if this was from a picture book or her imagination, but there were barely any links between the stories. Or maybe I was rushing to conclusions. Is she from the past? A time traveler?
そのお話は誰に聞いたの？
Who told you this story?
本当だよ。
It really happened.
じゃあ、どこ
Where
であっ
then?
たことかな？
I just realized there actually is a sheep, right? Is that the guy that talks to us when we die and whatnot? Outside of this whole story?
遠く
Where then? Far away.
遠くか。
Far away, huh?
ずーっと歩いてきたの。
I've been walking for so long. Well, it didn't look like I could get any details from her. If far away referred to the land of myth, and it actually had truths regarding Fujiyoshi's legend that weren't told here, what the hell was I thinking? Land of myth? How stupid. I should just calm down and file it under more info that made no sense to me.
そっか。
I
頑張った
see.
ね。
It must have been hard.
お腹すいた。
I'm hungry.
そうだね。
Same
僕
here.
もだ。
Let's go back.
戻ろうか。
Okay. As we turned around, I saw Chiemi stand up in the mist again and hesitantly beckon us.
食事ができたそうだ。
Looks like the food's ready. Kiyono Sukeshi was standing at the entrance of the dining hall, wearing a gloomy expression. He was never particularly vigorous, but now his visage was haggard, and he wasn't nearly as arrogant as before. I couldn't blame him. The only person he was friendly, flirtatious, to was Rikako Uematsu, was in an awful state. Also, despite all he'd said, he'd actually relied on Takumi-san. They seemed to be close in terms of age, too. And from what I'd heard, he never really said anything wrong. The only problem was his insensitive choice of words. The feast was a communication game. Even if you were right about something, it didn't matter much if you couldn't convince anyone, correct? He's too much of a pompous ass.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Still, he was one of the mere two confined humans. Treating him badly and making him upset wouldn't help at all. I had to be courteous.
行こうか。
Let's go. Yeah.
お腹減ったね、メイコちゃん。
Hungry, aren't we, Meiko-chan? And Jamie had calmed down a bit. I'd already told her my suspicions. I now had to hope she handled the feast well. All that was left now was to get some nutrients to support my hard-working brain. Right? Sure.
すみませんね。こんなのしかできない。
I'm sorry. I couldn't prepare anything better. She ladled what appeared to be rice gruel from the large pot. It was a thick white soup with vegetables, rice, and something brown inside.
獅子入りだ。慣れてます？
Game meat. Is it fermented?
ええ、
Yes.
生のは
The
ダメにな
fresh
っちゃ
meat
った
was
から。
spoiled.
ちえみちゃん、
Chiemi-chan. I whispered to her.
どうしようか。
What do we do?
春秋さんはどうしたい？
What do you want to do? Is this about the fact that I wasn't allowed to eat any of the cooking from the village? And was only allowed to eat the ramen? Is she asking if I should just go ahead and eat now? Yep. We were talking about the thing where I had to avoid the local food.
せっかくだから、
You know
今
what?
回は貫こうか。
I'll stick to my diet until the end this time.
オッケー。ありがとう。
Okay. Thanks. It's no good food for us. Although I don't know if rice gruel is good food, but what did I mean by this time? Did I think I had another life or something? Maybe. It was fine. It wasn't like I was cool with dying just on the off chance I got a second shot. Dying wasn't an acceptable option. I wasn't about to compromise on that.
ほっつき歩いても仕方ないし、
There's no point in walking around, so I'll just wait here.
わかった。
Alright.
召し上がらないの？
You're not going to eat?
結構アレルギー
I have a bunch of allergies.
若い人は変色しおるから。
Whatever, old lady.
いろいろ
Do you even care? You don't even like me.
強くなれば
It's because you youngins don't eat proper. You won't become strong if you don't have a balanced diet. Hey, I was lying. But telling actual allergy sufferers that they should just eat and they'd be cured was actual murder. True. Well, there were some efforts to cure allergies by carefully injecting the allergens via vaccine, but that was just a subject for the doctor. Anyway, Going back to the dorm by myself was dangerous. The sensei'd suspect me. So I just waited in the corner of the room, still hungry. Where are Yasunaga-kun and Haru-chan?
まだ上かな
Still upstairs?
いいから
Don't mind them. Your food will get cold. More! I'll go call them. I don't know, you might be interrupting them. They might be doing something since they're gonna die, you know? I don't know if you want to interrupt them. I went up the stairs, and when I reached the second floor, I stopped for a moment. I hope you're not hearing weird sounds. I heard some rustling. He's thinking what I was thinking. Was it possible they'd gotten that intimate in just a few minutes? Was I about to ruin the mood? I don't know. Well, food was important, too. I said, to get their attention and slowly went up, making sure I was loud enough for them to hear me coming. It's lunchtime. Oh? Yasunaga-kun? What were you doing? Well, they're fully clothed and everything. What were you doing? Hello. The room was full of stuff. It was a huge mess. Are you looking for something? No luck, huh? Yes, I was told there was a new apron in the attic, but we couldn't find it there. So we were checking other places too. Is she blushing? Or is that just her face? So that was it.
見た
Why would you ask that? That's such a dumb thing to ask. Did I see, huh? And what would I have seen? Did you see? Huh? Also, shouldn't you wait until like Yasu is like out of earshot to be asking me that?
よければみんなには黙っててもらえますか
Could you not tell anyone about this?
いや、
Well, I did come up carefully, but it's not like I saw anything I shouldn't have. Yeah, you gave yourself away.
お楽しみ中だった
Okay. Were you going at it?
何言うのよ
That's what I want to say. What are you saying?
嘘だよ
I'm kidding. I know you wouldn't do something like that at a time like this.
そりゃそうですよ
Of course we wouldn't.
もちろんよ
Yeah. Really now? I was still kind of worried.
じゃ
Anyway,
一旦切り上げて
why not
食事
take a
にしたら
break and
どう
get
か
some
な
food? They didn't argue. As we prepared to go back... Oh no. There was a loud noise from downstairs.
何
What? Yasunaga-kun and I looked at each other, then ran out of the room without saying a word. We were met with a strange scene. Was the food poisoned? Wait, but that only leaves Yasu and Haru. I need to run. I instantly realized what had happened and who was responsible. Wait. Well, he's alive. Kiyonosuke was wearing a furious expression, his shoulders shaking. And there was a shattered plate of rice gruel at his feet. The contents were still steaming. Okay, so no one's dead. I feared the worst. He was facing Kaori Orebe-san, who was standing completely still. Did he throw his food to the floor? So he's a pompous asshole? Was it that bad? No way. This was clearly something way bigger than that.
いきなりどうしたんです
What's gotten into you? And Jamie and the others didn't seem to understand either. They shifted uneasily.
ズだ
What are you saying? Ane?
なんですと
What?
渦だ渦獅子滝にトリカブトが入っている
Well, that's smart. That means it's not the mother then. So, mother is not a suspect to me then? Wolfsbane. The plant. There's aconite in the food. What?
メイコちゃん食べた？
Meiko-chan, did you eat any?
いただきます。まだ
Didn't she ask for more? Why would you ask for more if you didn't eat any? Bah, not yet.
他に誰も食べてない？
What about the rest of you? Hold on. I'm still lost.
本当なんですか？
Is that true?
見るこの生煮えの傭兵は
Look at these leaves.
光沢があり
They shine.
色も白くなく
The other side isn't white.
尖る
And the tip is
匂い
pointy.
も違う
And they smell different too.
リンソウじゃない
This isn't mugwort or windflower.
ほんまです。
You're right.
そりゃ
It's wolfsbane.
山菜を入れたの母さん。
You use wild plants, Mom?
ええ
Yes.
危なかったね。
That
間違え
was
てそんなの
close.
入れちゃって。
What a
集
mistake.
落が起きるところ。
Someone almost got poisoned. She
好きだ
wants to kill us.
この女
ちょ待ちなさい
Huh?
よ。
Wait.
ただ間違えただ
It
けで
was
しょ。
just a mistake.
それだけで
That's it.
そん
Don't
な
be so
ひど
cruel.
い
Haru-chan stopped talking when she realized the suspect was acting strange. Kaori-san was staring right at Kyo no Sukeshi, not moving an inch, and smiling. She was completely glaring him down. Why? He's a human though, isn't he?
え
Unless you have reason to think he lied somehow. Well, you would have to think, Takume lied. Yes. That response was so delayed. We had no idea what it was for. I think I know. When Kyo no Sukeshi backed away a bit, his expression shifted from rage to fear. The right reaction, it appears. I'm scared too.
母さん。
Mom? Oh!
みんな死んでしまえばい
You.
いのよ。
You should all die! As she stood there, wailing madly, she brandished a knife. Is this how feasts normally go? Do the survivors lie about how the feasts actually are? Or is this a special case? She brandished a knife. She was hardly moving quickly, but the sight of the blade had stunted our reflexes. I'd seen some bizarre corpses here. I bore witness to what pure malice could do. But still living blatant malevolence, killing intent, was intense enough to paralyze everyone present. I barely registered the scene unfolding before me. Staggering a bit, the woman passed the counter. Time to punch someone in the face. The sharp knife was still green with something. Likely shavings of aconite. She raised her voice. So if she stabs us with that, we're going to get poisoned instantly. And aimed her poison weapon at the nearest target. Kiyono Suke-san. Oh, we finally got to a choice. Wheel. Killing her would put us at odds with Yasu, right? Surely? He's not gonna like us if we do that. Which one is the death ending, though? One of these is potentially the good one, or at least the better one that keeps going. And the other one's going to get us killed, probably. Maybe. Or maybe either of these are going to take a while to get us killed. I'm gonna tackle her. I don't know why I moved when I did. Because I told you to. I was a man of words, not of impulse. In times of crisis, I was the type to turn tail and run after making some sort of parting threat. I shouldn't have been on good enough terms with either Kyo Sukeshi or Kaori-san to risk my life for them. Yet, when I came to my senses, my body was dancing, charging straight for Kaori-san with my right shoulder. And after a brief struggle, we collapsed. I heard her let out a strained cackle in my ears. I had to change my posture. Unless I pinned her knife hand down, I'd... But in the end, it turned out I really wasn't cut out for the job. These roundabout thoughts were just delaying the inevitable. So we weren't cut out, so we're gonna get cut out. Yeah? When the madly laughing woman embraced me, my thoughts ground to a complete halt. I kind of figured this would be the bad one. I kind of figured we have to take her down, don't we? She stabbed me right in the back. Simple as that. To her, I was just another obstacle that had to be removed. I didn't know if the wound itself was fatal, but I could tell the blade had sunk in incredibly deep, and that it was coated in leaf green poison. It must have been a near instant death. My mind quickly grew hazy, yet my final moments were those of self-reflection. Reckless actions really aren't my forte after all. I just wanted to see it happen. You know me, I mean, you give me a flowchart and different endings, I'm going to go for them all. Bad ending number 5. No, I do not need a hint. Literally, why would I need a hint? It's just, this time get a weapon. No. See here, this is the sheep. Guess it was just a dream, right? Do better next time. 1 sheep, 2 sheep. Fine, I shall try to do better. And I'm back at the start. No, we're not going back to the very beginning. We're going back to this. I'll get there eventually. But also, I think I'm actually going to call it. It's been well past 2 hours, and we got an ending, so... How far back can I go? I kind of want to get a thumbnail of her going crazy. Nope, wrong one. Actually, now I gotta scroll down all the way. Oh, no, I don't. How far back will this take us? Oh, actually, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want it to be. Menu. Save. Overwrite. I already did it, right? Okay, just to make sure. Turn. And then menu and hide. And I will use this as the thumbnail. And I shall call it here, and I am going to raid out. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this, and I don't know what's going on. So, it seems a lot less the wolves killing, a lot more of just them killing each other. Is that normal? Or has this one been thrown completely off balance? Is it because of me being here and not even participating and whatnot? Has that thrown everything off balance? Has that made everything corrupted? I wonder. But I will call it here. Where is it? There it is. All right. So, thank you everyone for hanging out with me. For those who were in chat and those who were just lurking, I appreciate it. It's always good to have you guys here. I hope you all have a good morning, day, or night, whatever time it is. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.
In a room where shadows loom, a man sits deep in gloom, with a pen held tight in hand, sketching dreams that understand. Walls may close, the night may fall, but his spirit stands tall. Lines he draws stars are doors that lead to worlds where dreams are free. With a pen he built his dreams, turning silence into streams. In his mind he's never alone, crafting realms he calls his own. Paper whispers, secrets told, journeys inked in black and bold. Mountains climb or rivers bend in the world that he can mend. He may be confined and still, yet his heart is wild with thrill. Through each line a sky so wide, in his world he takes a ride. Every sigh is painted bright, stars that gleam in darkest night. With the pen his spirit